think audio is enabled now, so let's go ahead and try this and say hello and welcome to another episode of 6 and 20 Metropolis. This is the Tuesday crew. This is the doozies. We're in a new setup behind me, so let's go ahead and hope that everything works, that my internet now works as expected, and we're going to go around and do introductions for the start. Why don't we start with the woman who has been gone for a couple of weeks, Yolanda.
Hey, I'm Yolanda. I'm back at home in the UK. Woohoo! I play Nana. She is probably in the middle of something exceptionally important right now. Sorry, did you need me to keep talking a bit longer, or?
No, it's up to you.
Short and sweet intro. That's all I do, man.
All right, next up, let's go on over to Alex.
Hey guys, I'm Zippy Zippo. I am playing Henry today, and I am being gunned down. Not gunned down. I have guns pointed at me by the local city PD for stealing evidence.
What evidence was that, actually?
That was all the evidence that he could fit into a banker box that was tagged for the night of the first encounter.
You mean his shoes and whatever else was just lying around?
Yeah, so like he went over to where the shoe was, and he's like, okay, that's my shoe. Everything that was for last night should be right there and tagged right there. And just kind of put...
I'm bringing it back to the point that you went back for your shoes. That's really all it comes down to for me. You went
They're
back for your
$400 shoes.
Right.
They're orthopedic.
Who pays $400 for a pair of shoes?
Doctors, apparently.
We paid $400
You're not a
for leather
doctor!
jackets.
No comments on the shoes that actual Lauren or Roz owns.
I'm so confused. All right, next up, let's go up to Sam.
Hi, I'm Sam, also known as Harley's Armory. I'm going to be playing a character named Charlie Cox. She is blind, and she is not a minor.
Depending on what state. No, I'm just kidding.
No, that's it. I'm good.
All right, I'm not going to make a comment, but I heard something in there that just was phrasing. But anyways, let's go back. Let's go on to Lauren.
Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm that salty ginger. Tonight I am playing Rosalind Percival, a former celebrity turned investigative journalist. She has a cool new jacket from her good friend Charlie, who is not a minor. And, you know, she had a very fun conversation with her ex-girlfriend, Kat, who is a detective. It's going super well. And there was a purpose to it, we swear. What that purpose was is irrelevant now.
Was
we're
it?
just gonna... It was, you know, when she was being reasonable.
Because I don't
You gotta get
remember.
Molly a jacket.
I don't remember it going well, and I agree. You need to get Volley a jacket, and you need to get patches too.
Yeah, well, your memory is...
Yeah.
All right, thanks, guys. Before we get started, we're gonna do a couple bits of business. First and foremost, where did it go? Where did it go? Oh my God, what happened to it? There it is. First and foremost, we are doing a new thing tonight. You're a bit quiet compared to everybody else. All right, I will fix that right now. Thank you, Speedy, for the information, and thank you also, Speedy, for the host. Let's try. How about that? Is that better? You let me know. I am on the right. All right. Anyways, okay, guys. So first things first, we're doing a giveaway. Skag, thanks for the host with the 9 viewers. Really appreciate it, man. Let's see. Let's make sure. Let's make sure we get everybody in chat able to see that. All right. Yeah. If you guys aren't following Skag, go follow Skag. He does some awesome stuff. Vikings are awesome. Rolando works with him on a couple of shows, if I remember correctly. Is that correct?
As of next week, 4.
Jesus Christ, woman. I need to
But in total, we're on 6 shows together as of next week.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Much love, Skag. Thanks very much for stopping by and bringing your folks. So we're doing a giveaway. We've got a little bit of a partnership thing going on with Son of Oak, and this is the first week of our giveaway. So if you want to win a copy of the the core book, which is this 500-page, I should bust out mine. It's freaking huge. It's this 500-page book. It's amazing. It's a thick, weight. It's heavy to read, and it's an awesome game. So if you actually want to play this game on your own sort of world, do your own thing, go ahead and click on that link and enter for the giveaway. I believe we're running that for 2 weeks, and then we're going to do the giveaway over on UnMadeGaming's channel 2 weeks from tomorrow. I will confirm those details, but for as of right now, just go ahead and click on that link, and it'll come up in chat again. I'll just do that right now, and go ahead and enter. And if you do not win, but you do want to buy a copy of the book, we've got a little bit of a coupon for you, a deal for you. Let me see if this brings it up. Can't remember the commands. No, that is the command for telling you about the game. Hold on a second, guys. I'll find the correct command in just a second. But we have a deal with Son of Oak to also offer $5 off if you want to buy the core book. The only place that you can buy the core book and the PDF together is through the Son of Oak website. And if you go to the Son of Oak website and you buy it through them, you can then also get $5 off via this code, which is about to come in chat. There we go. So if you enter 6 and 20 fan at checkout, you'll get $5 off the core book. So that's $55 instead of $60. It's a great book. Again, great game. We're playing it here. And last but not least, this is the first of 3 shows in the week. Let me go ahead and drop the 6 and 20 stuff into chat. There you go. And it's must be Metropolis. Anyways. So tonight is the Tuesday crew, the Doozies. Wednesday crew is Team Lazarus over on Unmade Gaming, and Thursday night is Team Esper over on NotSoSpeedRuns. We do this all in one big collaborative world, and there have been some interesting sort of crossover events, although there's not been a crossover episode as of yet. And we're looking forward to when some of these people actually get together and start interacting. Sethana, your character was mentioned on Team Esper's Thursday show last week, just as an FYI. You need to go back and check out what actually happened.
What did I do?
It wasn't what was done to you, or actually it was what was done to you, or more specifically what was given to you, not anything that you did.
Yes, okay, cool.
So, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. Previously on 6 and 20 Metropolis, after some montages, Charlie talking to her mom, actually avoiding her mom, talking to her dad, kind of teaming up with Roz there. The crew gets together and decides that they are going to take the information that they have and try to arrange a couple of things. The first arrangement was they were going to, Roz was going to get an interview through Pendragon for Mr. Apollo from the Apollo car service. She's still waiting on that. So while waiting on that, Henry and Charlie decide that they're going to try to get more information out of Catherine Devereaux, Roz's ex, and the current lead detective on the Alexis Dere case. So while distracting Catherine and trying to get more information out of her and try to convey some information, or at least that's the way it appeared, Henry decides that he's going to break into the evidence room of the downtown police station to recover whatever evidence was found at the crime scene, including the pair of shoe, or including the shoe that he left. And so Henry had successfully grabbed the evidence. Roz and Charlie had sort of a conversation with Catherine that didn't go quite as well, and I wonder why that is. There, Roz, do you want to tell us why that didn't go so well?
Because she's a salty ex.
I'm not a minor.
And because she was jealous of Charlie because she thought I was with Charlie, who is not a minor.
I am definitely not a minor.
Oh my god! And there's there's the hole.
I don't know if I really want to be a part of this conversation anymore, but okay.
Sam and I love each other, and Charlie and Roz love each other. It's just a big love fest.
As long as Lauren's not setting me on fire, we're good.
Phrasing. Okay.
I'm confused by that last statement, but I'll ask later. And so while that was going on, Henry, you made your escape. It was a successful escape, except for one little thing. What happened?
The guy heard the door close. He heard me walk out.
Mm-hmm.
And he saw my shoes.
And he saw your shoes. And so both groups, both Henry and Roz and Charlie, were making their way to get out of the police station before too much more could happen. Roz and Charlie were sort of on a vengeance fest because there was going to be some article written to sort of cause some trouble for Catherine. Henry was just trying to make his escape when all hell broke loose and the alarms started going off inside of the police precinct. Doors closed. Officers come out to cover these particular exits. We watched as we followed Henry through the stairwell as he was making his way to the roof when in through a door came, into the stairwell came two police officers, and when they saw him, they pulled their guns. And so where we're going to fade in tonight is right there. Henry, guns pulled. You've got packages in your hand that you're holding that clearly have evidence. How do you want to do this?
I have the banker box under one arm and I put up a hand. Don't shoot. Don't shoot.
Who are
Don't
you?
Shoot.
What are you doing? What?
My name is Henry Windsor. And I've been asked to bring this evidence to forensics.
Forensics is downstairs. What are you doing upstairs? This is the second floor.
I'm new. I'm fresh off the bus. I'm fresh off the bus.
Convince them.
I'm going to use power tags medical student. Because forensics is a science, much like medicine. And I will use favorite student.
Favorite student. Okay. So let me pull up your character sheet just real quick. I actually did not get this completely set up. Actually, I'll get it right here. Do you think any weakness tags actually apply here? Because it seems like you've got one, if I remember correctly, that might apply.
You have no authority. I can use that.
Okay. All right. That makes complete sense. And roll it.
All right. Let's see.
Ooh, buddy. Ooh, buddy. Now, before I react, because this is going to be a hard move, and circumstances are definitely not going to go into your favor. What is the last thing that you say to them? Because you're trying to convince them, hey, I'm new. I'm new. I'm new. You can see that you're starting to lose them. What is the last thing that you try to convince them with?
Go ask Catherine Devereaux. She's the one who asked me to take it to forensics.
Guns drawn, kind of looking down at you. One of them, you got him. The other one, begins to radio into Catherine Devereaux. And you can hear the conversation. The other one still got you covered. While that's happening, we're going to cut to Charlie and Roz, who are in the lobby watching just absolute pandemonium as the entire place just goes lockdown.
So the doors have closed?
The doors are now closed. There are two uniformed officers carrying shotguns who are manning that door, and the door is currently locked.
Ross, what's exactly happening?
This whole place is going into lockdown. It's not good. I don't think it's for us because we are very innocent little, angels. Do you have to pee?
Should I faint again?
I don't know. Those guys have shotguns in front of us, so maybe we should go another way where there aren't shotguns. Although
Out the bathroom window.
that's why I asked if you had to pee.
Yes, I do have to.
Oh God, I need to get you to the bathroom before. Never mind. Okay, yes.
I'm too blind to find it myself.
I'll help you. And we search into finding the bathroom. Oh,
Okay, so
Roz wasn't an improv girl.
All right, so the first floor bathroom is just behind. So the main area of the police precinct, right? So the main entrance is sort of like this big kind of halled entryway. Very much you see it in a classic sort of like a Hollywood or sort of LA or a New York sort of precinct, and you see in films where it's just this big sort of like arced kind of thing, and it kind of goes back a little bit, and there's two sets of stairs, one on each side, and you just came down one set of those stairs, kind of leading up into the second and the third floor, and there's like a balcony kind of a situation or a second level sort of thing, and so you're looking for the nearest restroom, and it's behind you, deeper into the hall, and sort of off to the left side, and so as you're kind of watching this pandemonium and chaos as it's happening, you're able to just kind of slip over to the restroom and inside. And inside you find a little bit of chaos as there's a couple of women beginning to freak out about the fact of the lockdown. They're not uniformed officers. They don't appear to be anything but civilians who just got caught up in this whole mess.
Is there a window?
Is there a window? Yes, there is a window, but it's not easy to get to.
Yeah, but there's a window, right?
There is a window, but there's a couple of women here, kind of, just kind of freaking out, and they're talking at each other excitedly more than they are talking to each other about what's going
on. Hey Roz, I think we need to convince the people to leave the bathroom.
Sure. Hey, you guys know what's going on?
No, we got caught up in here. Do you know what's going on? Oh my God! I saw them pulling guns. Can you believe they're pulling guns?
They're asking everyone to please exit the building.
Yeah, just my friend. She just had to run to the bathroom, and then we're going out. They just seem maybe a little paranoid. I don't know. Something must be going on somewhere else.
Are you sure that they're talking about going? I haven't heard any announcements. They usually. My sister works here up on the second floor, and when she, whenever they do any type of emergency, they always make announcements when they want the crowds to. So, are you sure that they made an announcement?
Well, that's what my girlfriend said. She's a detective here.
Who's your girlfriend?
Oh, do you know Kath?
Yeah, she works on the same floor as my sister. I know Kath very well. I didn't know she was dating anybody.
It's kind of a old flame rekindled, you might say.
That's okay. Are you
hush.
And you can see that the panic is starting to kind of build up again as they're not making any move as of yet. What do you want to do?
I mean, I think we were in the process of trying to convince them.
All right, if you want to just stay with that and just convince them, you are more than welcome to.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah, listen, it's just if you leave, that's what they're asking people to do. I don't know if the bathroom speaker is working, but they did make an announcement.
Oh, Kath did mention that they were on the fritz or something.
Roll it.
Okay.
You seem amused by this roll. Why do you seem amused by this roll?
I'm always amused. I'm amused by everything that happens. So persuasive aura. Hashtag blessed.
Hashtag blessed. Do you
Yeah, you
want
have
to? Okay,
say
so
it.
do you want to explain that because you've used that power tag, the power tag that you just replaced previously. You want to talk a little bit about that real quick?
Right. So I just to keep in theme with my mythos, I just thought luck, which is part of this bastion, protection kind of power tag theme book. I just thought that #blessed would be more appropriate with my particular mythos.
Okay.
And it's hilarious.
Okay, that's fair.
So yeah, it just helps it's kind in a similar way to like Sethana's fortune thing. It's like something about Roz that turns the tide in her favor.
Okay, fair enough. So with that in mind, then, go ahead and roll it. I'm not going to apply any weakness tags because these women are too crazy, like excited and nervous to notice who you are. So.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Got it all right.
Are you sure?
Mild success.
Mild success. Okay. Do you want to give them a status, or do you want to change their agenda a little bit? Or sorry, do you want them to give into what you're trying to push them into?
Yeah, I think what we want is for them to
leave.
get out.
Yeah.
And they're okay. All right, we're gonna go check it out. Well, hurry! You better hurry. If they made the announcement and they're evacuating the building, there must be a reason. So you better hurry. You better hurry, honey. You just
have to.
She just needs a little help.
I'm blind.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Bye.
And the three of them kind of make their way out, and now you're left alone in quiet. And we're gonna cut back to Henry. Any information about a new? What did you say your name was?
Windsor. Henry Windsor.
Any new information about Henry Windsor? Are you an intern?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Some sort of intern working in forensics for Catherine Devereaux? Okay. And you hear coming down the stairs two more, and as the two more uniform officers kind of come around, they see their guns kind of, you can hear their guns get cocked, and they're like, no, it's okay. Sir, can I have you come up here and stand right here?
Of course. Yes. And I kind of like, with the box, I just kind of sidle up to the other two officers, and I just kind of stand there. I'm sorry. They've been like really bad about getting my papers transferred. I just graduated just a couple months ago. Trying to find a job.
Gun still pointed at you. The other one kind of steps back a little bit. The two officers, kind of step by you and continue down the stairwell. Do you have any ID? Can you put that stuff down and show us any ID?
Yes. And as I put the stuff down, I start digging in my pockets. I'm sorry, but could you not point that gun at me? You're making me rather nervous.
I'm sorry, sir. Until we can confirm who you are, we're under lockdown, and anybody who is suspicious is going to get held at gunpoint.
Oh, okay. I pull out my med school ID, and they haven't really printed me a new ID yet. They said that the printer was, not working. But I have this, and I like kind of with one hand slip it towards the officer. I said, "That's my med school ID. It has everything on it, my name, everything. So there's some identification."
The second officer who was on the radio reaches out and takes it from you, kind of looks at it, and then you hear a squawk from the radio, and he immediately goes back. And as he does this, you can see that he's looking at you, and he's stepping back, and he's putting your ID into his pocket, and he's reaching for his taser. Excuse me, sir. I think you're going to need to turn around and put your hands on the wall right now.
I really don't want to hurt you. I'm so sorry.
We've
I'm
got
so
somebody who's
sorry
going to
about
resist
this.
arrest here. Please send backup.
You're right. I'm going to resist arrest because I really need this. And as soon as he does, he kind of like stamps his foot on the ground, and like with a flourish of his hands, he kind of raises up these vines that would like wrap around the guns and the legs of the officers and kind of snare them, you know.
All right, you're going to go toe to toe here because
toe to toe.
As you raise your arms like that to make this happen, the first cop with a shotgun is going to fire at you.
Okay. Toe to toe, obstacles, briar weapon.
Is your briar barrier going to apply here?
Yeah, I'm going to say briar defense as well, because
Okay.
I'm using it as a weapon to wrap onto them, but I'm also using it as a defense to slow them down.
Okay.
I don't think ebb and flow applies because I'm doing this out of gut instinct, not, I'm not really paying attention.
Okay, fair enough.
So,
here, let me switch over to the correct game table. Let me double check something here real quick with Henry's character sheet. Does pacifism come into play here as a weakness?
As a weakness, yes, because he's not trying to hurt them. He's like, I don't want to hurt you,
Okay.
but I'm going to fuck your shit up.
Okay, so go ahead and apply that, and then roll it. Wow, great success. Okay, so you get to choose 2 from the list, right?
Okay, so if I counter the shotgun blast, could I retcon it that my vine takes the shotgun barrel and points it towards the ground as he fires? Would that be a counter?
Do you want it to go to the ground, or do you want it to go into the air? Because what I'm envisioning is that these vines are kind of coming up, one just kind of shoots really up and just forces him, kind of
that's
forces.
What I was.
Okay.
Yeah, fire into the air so nobody gets hurt. Because if you fire buckshot at the ground, you're probably going to blow your foot off.
Or there's at least going to be some sort of backlash. Besides the vines kind of coming up, it seems like it would be more visually interesting if they came up and pushed up versus kind of pulled down, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So you're gonna counter with your first
juice.
Okay, the first thing that you're going to do. Okay, so that means that you're not going to take a status tag of any kind. So that's a good call.
Okay, and then I'm going to get him good, and I'm going to apply first tier status of snared or tangled, whichever one would work.
Okay, because the number of powers was actually 2, even though it's not like a juice in this way where you're spending it.
Oh, okay.
You're actually going to get a tier 2 status.
Okay.
So to apply to them.
And okay, so if first tier would be entangled, second tier would be snared.
Okay, snared. So both officers are going to be snared.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so. Okay, so snared tier 2. Now that they're snared, because you went toe to toe with them and reacted, you can make the next move.
My next move is to thwip a vine up as far as he can onto the nearest railing of the stairwell, and then just kind of Batman my way up, like zip up as far and as fast as I can. So.
Okay. Did we ever describe? I don't think we ever described this stairwell. So we didn't describe whether it was like a sort of like a square where it just kind of wrapped around and there was a center,
or if there was there was a space in between the landings, but it was like very narrow kind of rectangle. If that was the case, he probably would take at a slower pace, go up, kind of put his feet onto the next stairwell, kick off with that, and then climb up to the next.
Let's call it a rectangle.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and call it a rectangle and say that there is enough space for you to throw your vine up and do that. So,
Okay.
Vine Fellow, what is that? Is that a change the game, or is that
is
taking a risk?
That is a change of the game.
Okay.
Because right now he doesn't know of any other person coming down the stairwell. He's just like, I'm going to create this vine and get out of here.
Okay.
That's going to be evasive footwork, not briar weapon, not briar defense, and then he's gonna do ebb and flow to kind of maneuver his way up the stairwell.
Okay.
So okay.
Just switch back over to the game table so everybody can see what's going on. Another great success. Holy crap. Okay, so with a great success, the first power actually counts as 2. So that means you get a total of 4 juice to spend here. How do you want to spend that juice?
He's going to spend 1 juice to create the vine. Let's see.
You can also bank them, just as an FYI.
Yeah.
We last week we kind of clarified the rule, and I don't think we did it on this show, but we clarified the rule. You can only bank the juice for as long as the scene actually lasts. So when you are actually out of the scene, you'll lose that juice.
Yeah, rollover.
Yeah,
no rollover.
No rollover. So
Makes sense.
So he's going to 1, create the whip. 2, he's going to scale up an effect. He's going to scale up the snare on the cops, and the vines are going to kind of grow off of there. And since they're in the doorway, they're going to try to wall off the doorway.
Okay, so the first use is the vine goes up for you to be able to go. The second prolongs the effect on the vine, on the snare.
Scales up the effect.
Scales up
greater area or more targets. So
basically more binding them so that they can't use their arms either then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you're going to bind the door as well. That's right next to them.
Yep, and that's
3.
1, 2, 3, and then I have 1 more.
That's correct.
Let's see. Inflict. Do you think I could flip another vine to go grab my ID, or to disarm his taser and pull the ID out of the holster?
So his taser is in his arm, or in his hand, which is now kind of bound, right? So
okay.
you've got him bound at this point. If you want, the vine to just kind of dip in and grab it and kind of leave it out for you to be able to grab as your
yeah,
you can totally do that.
Okay. So he and that'll be the 4th one. So he has his ID, he has the evidence, and then he's just kind of like mountain manning up the stairwell,
okay,
to the top floor,
okay,
to the roof.
All right, so it'll take you to the top floor, but it kind of ends a little bit, and there's still another curve around that you're going to have to go for roof access, like another level before you hit roof access. But so you kind of zip back up with your vine, leaving them behind as you hear them yelling and screaming, and we're going to cut back to Roz and Charlie.
Cool. So what does this bathroom look like?
Yeah.
Imagine any terrible sort of, architecture, sort of 30s and 40s bathroom.
White brick.
Long, the tile, there's one long mirror, there's a series of sinks, and there's a bunch of stalls because it's the women's bathroom. And then there's this one long sort of window at the end.
Is there a broom or anything?
No.
Is there a curtain rod above the window or like blinds rod?
Nope. What do you want to try to do?
I'm trying to think of putting something, you know, on like bathrooms, how they have the door handles that you just like pull instead of like turn.
Mhm.
I'm looking to like slide something in that so no one can come in.
Huh.
Cane.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, your cane is about the only thing that you could probably use to do that. Because there is a closet here, but it's locked. There is a closet right near the entrance. If you want to open that, you could probably.
I'm gonna open it.
It's locked. How are you gonna open it?
I'm gonna break the handle. I'm gonna kick it.
Okay.
So strong.
So strong is right. Change the game here.
Strong.
Okay, so I'm gonna use perfect short range target. I really want my martial arts, my agility, and I've been wanting to use fear as a weapon, but I know it's not applicable in this case. But can I?
Fear is not a weapon here.
Fear
Fear in the doorknob. No, I'll use 3.
Okay.
Fear me, doorknob. And the doorknob is like, oh shit, man. Hey, look, ask my brother over in Wonderland. This never goes well.
I mean,
and he
if it's,
just
one
falls
of those,
over.
if it's one of those door handles that has like 2 little screws just above it, you already have that O-looking face from the doorknob. So,
Yeah, I'm gonna use 3 then.
Okay. Go for it.
Oh, not minus 3. And it's a change the game.
Mm-hmm.
See?
Great success.
Jesus, RNG is your. Wait a minute. What happened there? There's no powers listed.
Well, I put 3 in.
Love our character
Four and
sheets.
6.
Yes.
Well, you know, it would have been a great success either way.
All right. So, excellent. Anyways, so that means you get 4 juice because you spent 3 powers, and
Break
then
the doorknob.
So, first juice is spent on breaking the doorknob. So you break it off. It swings open.
But
It is a. Okay, go ahead.
second one, I guess I would use as in, like, so it's quiet.
So you want to hide the effect.
Hide the effect, yeah.
Okay, so that's 2 juice.
Broom.
There is a broom, there is a mop, there's a bucket, there's a bunch of cleaning supplies all in there.
Broom.
Okay.
And I'm gonna take the broom and shove it, like, in the door.
I just realized I could have done something with, but I like the broom a lot. The broom is great. Maybe I can help the broom.
Just curious, just out of curiosity, humor us for just a second.
What?
What could you have done?
I could have just put up a barrier.
but like that's like showing
No,
your
but
powers.
I was so impressed that I was in awe because she is so strong.
Because she is so strong.
I'm a big fan. Roz is a fan of Charlie.
Okay.
And now I will assist to the broom in blocking the door. Because I want Charlie.
to succeed in life.
Yes. I'm her mentor.
You're her mentor. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
But you're not my mentor.
Like your
Little this, little
friend,
that.
but
Okay.
like your
All right.
mentor.
All right. So that's two juice that you spent so far. If you spend a 3rd juice on a story tab, we'll call the door blocked.
Yes.
Okay.
I know what. No one to come in ever again.
The door is blocked. Well, the door is going to be.
Forever.
It's going to be temporary, and it's going to be blocked for the time being, right?
I would
It's-
like to spend all 4 juice to make sure the door is never opened again.
You'd like to make it a prolonged effect. You shall not pass. Is that what you're saying? You shall not pass.
Yes.
Okay.
Until someone opens it from the inside.
She turns to Roz. Fly, you fool.
I haven't tried that yet.
Okay.
Are we on the 1st floor or the 2nd floor?
You are on the 1st floor.
Okay.
Down the stairs.
So, actually, I'm not gonna do that because I want to break the window. Also, if it's not easily opened.
I don't know why, but I'm envisioning like these windows to be like
With bars and like.
bars, but they're very narrow,
Narrow,
like
yeah,
rectangular.
that's
They
like-
look like they kind of remind you of like a basement.
Yeah, that's what I
Window.
was also thinking.
But when you said
They're
they're
like-
on the 1st floor, I'm like, okay, I don't think they would have that. They would have like the ones that look like giant ice cubes kind
Yep.
of deal.
Probably. I
Mhm.
don't know. As long as I can fit through it, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
You could definitely open it and fit through it based on what you saw.
All right. Charlie's going through the window.
Okay, so you open the window, it kind of opens a little bit, and then it hits the
the bar?
lattice work metal kind of grate that kind of covers the window
On the outside.
on the outside.
I'm gonna roll again. I'm gonna change the game.
Well, so you've still got a juice, right?
I have 2, right? Oh no, I have 1.
You have 1 because you spent it on make sure the door is blocked.
Okay, then I'm going to kick open the window as well.
You're gonna kick off the essentially the lattice work grate and just kind of bust through it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were able to kind of grab onto something above the window and kind of kick off, and you kick through, and the entire window opens up, kind of flips open as the sort of the metal lattice work sort of barrier that's there kind of kicks out, and it kicks across 10 feet to the other side of this little walkway alleyway and makes this loud kind of clanging sound. But the window's open and you can get out.
I look over at Ross and I'm like, I did nothing.
Let's just get out of here.
Do you
And
maybe want to look out the window to make sure the coast is clear?
Sure. Give me a
I think Charlie would also be able to sense if the coast was
Oh,
clear.
I know, but I'm just being nice.
Yes, we're sharing.
Sharing is caring.
So are you the terrible two or the toxic twins?
We're not
Blah, blah, blah.
toxic.
Yeah.
Try again. Okay.
Horrific too.
Okay. So yeah, I'm going to I'll put out I'll use my camera just first so I can get like a scan without sticking my head out.
Seems like there's nobody in the alley right now, because as you kind of look down the building, any of the windows on this first floor are also have this sort of like lattice work kind of grate over them, so they don't think that it's an immediate risk.
Great. Let's go.
As we fly out the window.
Okay, both of you kind of step out and kind of land onto the ground as you hear the door being tried in the bathroom.
Can I
shut the window.
Well, it's kicked off.
No, the grate was kicked off. The window was fine.
The window went up like this as the grate went out.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just shut the window.
Can I try to put the grate back? Yeah, I want to try to make it as if nothing untoward happened.
All right, I think that's a change of the game.
Yeah, that's what that sounds like.
Oh.
So maybe. Oh, could I literally fix it? I have ward off deterioration and reverse effects. Could I kind of make it as though the break did not happen, actually?
If you roll correctly, sure.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I want to try. And then, so ward off deterioration, reverse effects. Maybe hashtag blast. Let me look at my weaknesses, though. Nobody's here. This has nothing to do with dating. No salty cath.
No salty cath? Are you sure? I can introduce salty cath for the last minute.
No. We don't
Nobody
need
wants her. Nobody likes her anymore, Johnny.
Clearly you do.
No.
We don't. She was mean. Okay,
We
so that's
don't?
3. Okay, that's 3. Great success.
Goddamn RNG.
Can I describe what this looks like?
You sure can, as I switch over to show everybody what we're seeing.
Yay. Okay, so Roz puts her hands where the grate was and where like any remnants of it remain. And as her hands begin to glow with this kind of dull whitish golden light, they mend back together seamlessly. It's like the light goes through her into the grate, into the wall, and when she takes her hands away, it's like nothing ever happened. And she's like buzzing, and Charlie can feel that vibration again, and Roz just smells faintly like whatever Charlie's favorite smell is for a second.
Okay, so you have 4 juice to spend on this.
Oh shit, that's right.
So I think that for that effect, for everything that you just did there in describing it, I think for that effect it's 2 juice. Because it's a pretty elaborate effect.
Yeah.
But you still have 2 in the scene. What else do you want to do? Or do you want to just, if you're leaving the precinct, from the outside, I would spend them now because otherwise you're going to lose them because that's going to end the scene.
Right. What else shall we do? I'm trying to think if there's anything we can do to find something to do with Henry, but I don't know. Create or summon new objects.
You could make it sound like there are gunshots down the block somehow to create a distraction to get Henry out.
Chaos.
Yeah.
Bloodshot.
Huh?
Nothing?
Oh, I just didn't hear you. Yeah.
I don't know how you would do that, but I think we should create some sort of distraction outside.
Yeah, maybe when that effect happens, because I'm like connected with the building, I can like send that same vibration somewhere else inside. Like not far, just somewhere where we were.
Can you set the bathroom on fire?
I don't think doing it to the bathroom is a good idea because there were witnesses and they saw us in there.
Oh, right.
But maybe since I am connected with it, I can just send some thing somewhere through it.
Make a microwave blow up.
But what if somebody's by the microwave?
My burrito!
That's not really my problem.
You could do a gas or a water leak, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Water leak is really good.
Set all the fire alarms off and like the sprinklers.
Just set the sprinklers off.
Oh my God,
Without the fire alarm. Because
let me set those sprinklers
For
off.
2 more juice,
Yes.
you can set all the sprinklers off in the building.
yes.
And just the fire alarm in Catherine's office.
Especially that one. That one just
Yeah.
ooh.
Okay.
Loud.
Waste some of that salt.
So as you kind of step up, you finish bringing that. You touch it one final time. The vibration goes through, and you hear all the sprinklers start to go off. You hear it specifically beginning to hit against the glass of the window, and you hear a cacophony of "Oh my! What the hell!" And just coming from up. Up the building as the 2 of you begin to kind of slip away from the building, and we cut to Henry as he gets to the top, and all of a sudden the sprinklers just start coming down, and he's drenched.
I don't know if I told anyone this, but like his body shape, face is kind of like he is inspired by Finn Jones, not Iron Fist, but Finn Jones himself. So think of Finn Jones with stag antlers and stuff. So his kind of dirty blonde hair is just kind of like drenched, hanging off, like clinging to his forehead and his cheeks and stuff. And he's like, "This is very weird." Okay. Oh no, my banker box. Oh geez, man. And he starts looking for the roof hatch. Is it a hatch or is it a door?
It's a doorway out. It's a doorway to the roof. It's an actual doorway. So you have to walk up another flight of stairs around the rectangle to get to the roof.
So he's going to do that. He's going to run over. I assume it's locked, but he's going to try the door handle anyways. So it just opens.
It just opens.
And he is out on the roof.
And as you kind of open the door and on the roof, you see that there are a number of officers that are already up there kind of covering it, right? And they're kind of, most of them are looking off, around the building, kind of looking around, just kind of checking various parts of the roof, because it's a quite a large structure, right? You're 6 stories up. Mm-hmm. There's a bunch of vents, and there are some, electrical boxes, and there are some, other things. There's air conditioning units up there, and there's some ducting. So when you immediately step out, the door opens. Nobody looks back right away, so you've got a moment to do something.
He's going to jump over the edge of the. How close is it to the edge of the roof?
You're in the center, basically.
How many feet to the
edge?
Probably
probably 50 feet to the edge, directly in front of you. But there are definitely two officers in front of you who are doing their job, kind of checking, essentially all aspects of the roof.
He's gonna kind of like stick close to the wall.
Okay.
And I'm envisioning that it's just like this. It's like a little nib at the top of the roof, and it's like doorway, and then you could see where it slants down into the building itself. So he's kind of clinging to one side, and then he's going, as soon as he faces one of the edges of the roof, he's just gonna book it. Like, okay. He takes the banker box, and he kind of like wraps some vines around it, so it's kind of like a makeshift backpack really kind of deal, and he's just gonna book it for the edge with as much speed and adrenaline just pumping through his body.
Okay, I need a roll here, but I need a roll based on what ultimately you want to do. Because to me right now, it sounds like you want to take a risk to make it to that edge and then jump off and do whatever amazing feat that you're going to do with your vines.
Yeah, basically. So he doesn't think that there's any room for stealth at this point.
Okay.
Because they're already looking for it. It's not like... And everybody, the two officers are going to be like, it was Henry Windsor. So it's like he cover blown. So he's just going to book it straight for that edge. Take a risk, ebb and flow, evasive footwork. And that's it. That's all the power tags that fit this.
Okay.
So
go ahead and roll it. Oh, is that right? You had a third power tag in there, I thought.
Ebb and flow, evasive footwork.
Oh, ebb and flow, evasive footwork. Or I thought there was one more. Okay, well, that's you got the worst of RNG right there, buddy.
Everyone else. Okay.
All right, so... Wow. Okay, I believe that means I execute another hard move against you. I just want to double check the rules real quick to make sure that that's the case. So you start your running. You put the vines around the baker box, and you kind of put it on your back, and you start running. But you don't get 10 feet before your foot hits a puddle of something that appears to be coolant leaking from an air conditioner, and immediately you just you slip up and you start to tumble, and you're going to take a bruised status 1 effect.
Okay.
Right, and so you kind of tumble a little bit, and you kind of roll up to the edge, and the two officers that were in front of you had just moved around corners and were off to the side, and both of them go, "Hey, what was that?" And they're beginning to turn.
So I'm at the edge?
Yes.
Is there like...
There's a lip. It's about a...
There's a lip, like a parapet,
Yeah.
So he's going to... He's going to like look up over the edge. Is there a trash can?
No. It is a 6-foot drop, or a 6-story drop to the floor.
Okay.
To the street.
He's good. He's just gonna kind of like pull himself up, and he's just gonna roll off the edge. And as he does, he's going to try to summon a vine from the adjacent building to like whip out and grab his wrist, and then just kind of lower himself down.
Okay. So as you begin to you kind of get up and you're about to roll off, you hear two shotguns again kind of cock, and you hear freeze. Now, you can, in my head, this is one of a couple of things. You can face danger to avoid the attack. You can take a risk and continue on with what you're doing, or you can change the game in some way. It all depends on what ultimately you want to be the result of this. Changing the game gives you the most flexibility because you have the juice to spend should you succeed.
Yeah.
Taking the risk means that you roll over and you get away in the way that you want, or you in the same situation before because of the way that you failed. You might find yourself in a more precarious situation at this point. Face the danger would be just you kind of avoiding their intent to come at you.
Change the game. I feel like at this point, Henry is just getting frustrated, and as he gets frustrated, this red ring starts to appear around his iris. He feels himself giving in to this dark thought in his mind that he could just take everyone out right now.
Okay.
And he's holding on to that, but he's still very frustrated. And as he does, he turns and he faces the officers, and he winds up his hands, and he sends just this wave of bramble and vines up like a tsunami just to cover the roof. And I'm going to burn obstacles.
You're going to burn obstacles. Oh, okay. So with the change the game, burning obstacles so you're just burning that power tag.
That power tag.
Okay. So you're going to succeed. And those vines are going to come up just right. They're going to just, kind of come up and kind of wrap them around. But they start screaming as this is happening, as they're kind of, the effect of them being bound as they're trying to struggle with it. They're screaming and yelling for help, right? And so that's happening, giving you an opportunity. You've now subdued them by burning that. You now have an opportunity to do something else.
Okay, so he got rid of 2. He is going to just fall. He's at the edge, so he's just going to
roll over and fall.
Lean back, and he's going to fall right off the roof. And as he does, he's going to create this wood briar vine armor kind of deal. The vines kind of grow out of him and wrap around his arm and his hand to create this giant claw, sharp talons and stuff. And he's going to dig that right into the side of the building as he scrapes down. He's still falling with gravity. He's scraping it down and leaving these giant claw marks in the side of the building.
Okay, so I was going to just give you the ability to, because you burned that tag, I was just going to give you, the ability to escape with, a vine or whatever and just kind of go to the ground. Given that description, I definitely want you to roll something just because I want to see how well or how badly the effect goes, because it's a really fucking cool description as you're just kind of sliding down. What do you think makes sense to you? Is it face
briar
danger?
Weapon?
Oh no, what kind of roll?
Face danger, because right now he's just going for it. He's taking a leap of faith.
All right, sounds good.
He's going to do evasive footwork.
Okay.
And I think that's all that applies. I don't think ebb and flow, because he's not really looking for any detail.
Okay, sounds great. Roll it.
So.
Ooh. Wow, rolls are not your friend right now. Okay, so you are going to begin to kind of slide down, and this thing as you're making your way down. So you begin to you begin to slow yourself, and it's going good until you hit a window, and then you're about 3 stories up when you finally hit a window, and it just kind of pushes you out, kind of bumps you out a little bit, right? And so you're kind of reaching back and you're kind of grabbing, and you're still kind of going down, and you come down a little too hard, and so you're gonna take trying to think of the appropriate label for a status tag here.
Rolled ankle.
No, it's going to be more than that, because you're coming down. You came down really hard. It's not. It's more than like a sprain or a rolled ankle. It's definitely
Fractured tibia.
Fractured tibia. Fractured. Fractured.
Because he's coming down. Yeah, fractured bones.
Fractured bones, and we're going to call it tier 3.
Okay. Let me write that down. Is there a way to write that down on this character sheet?
No, there was not a way to record statuses
right.
on a character sheet. So you're going to have to note it.
Pen and paper.
Yep. All right. But so you come down and you're just like, oh, God. And around the corner comes Roz and Charlie. As they kind of see you land, and you're just like, holding your legs.
Good thing Roz can heal.
We all work so well together. I seeing this, being shocked as I am anyway, I run over to him, and I, with Charlie, although she's much faster than me, I just grab her hand and start running over toward Henry.
And then like all of a sudden I'm in front of you.
Is he bleeding?
No.
No, it's just a fracture. So
Okay.
he came down. It put too much stress on the bone.
Right.
It's like a stress fracture. He's like sitting there. He's like, all right, okay. Now this night has just gone from bad to worse to shit.
Yeah.
And as he says bad, worst, shit, like the red in his eyes, it just pulsates as he gets more frustrated.
Hey, it's okay. You're okay.
All right. We are not out of the woods yet. There are tons of cops on that roof. And he takes the banker box and he hands it to Charlie. Charlie, I need you to take this. Hide it somewhere. Take it with you. Go back to R&R Diner. Both of you. Do not be seen leaving together with that box. I will meet up with you.
Can I do something before you go? It'll just help you move a little faster with that leg, which looks like it hurts.
He pulls out his torque, which is this brass. Normally a torque is a necklace piece, but he has like a little souvenir or something, which is like a bracelet fits around his wrist, and he's like, I got it. I'm going to patch myself up. I got this. I've been trained for this.
Henry, we've done it together before and it's been faster. We could do it right now and then just go. Or do you want to limp away from here with cops coming?
Charlie, you're starting to feel the vibrations of a lot of running coming from both directions.
Guys, we need to move now.
All right. Just clean your hands before you put your blood on me.
Hygienic. I wiped them off. Okay.
Charlie is going to take off her leather jacket, fold it up, and put it on top of the box so it looks less just like carrying a box and more like, her stuff.
Okay.
And like hopefully there's no like evidence label, and if there is, she's gonna rip it off.
And me and Henry are gonna do our healing mojo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's say that we're going to treat this like we did before, where it's an assist.
Mm-hmm.
So who's going to do the roll and who's going to do the assist?
I'll do the roll because by this point the torque would have sensed that I have taken a bruise and a fractured thing, and it would have already started glowing this jade green, and like gives us this like comforting warmth
Okay.
for those who are around it. And that's going to kick it off. Roz would be assisting, so I think on this sheet, if you add things to your positive statuses, it quote unquote works as in adding more power tags.
I believe so.
Yeah, you add positive statuses to it, and that'll be just like her giving you an assist from a power tag. So
I'm going to do magical healing, regen are the 2 power tags, and then the weakness tag, seasonal atrophy, because wait, no, it's not, because
It's summer.
Summer is the life aspect, so the relic is in full swing.
okay.
And then I'd give you 2 more with ward off deterioration and reverse effects.
Okay. And then this is going to be a change to the game.
Okay.
Yay! Ooh, ooh, that's good. Ooh,
I rolled a 1
It's
plus
good.
3.
it's good.
That's still good.
Work.
Teamwork.
Get
Okay,
Yeah,
so
Real good about it.
that technically counts as a great success.
Mhm.
So you have 6 juice to spend in this scene. Sorry, 7. You have 7 juice to spend in the scene, but remember that juice is going away, so use it effectively.
I cure Charlie's blindness. No,
You can't technically do that because it's actually a little bit associated with her mythos.
yeah, no, it was it was a joke. I spend all of my juice to inflict a tier 7 status.
Be healed.
Heal.
Whoa, I can see for like 30 seconds and then it's gone again.
Well, at least you would have seen us.
You have seen the
We're very
light.
attractive.
I can see you guys. Just because I can't see you guys.
He's okay, so it's going to spend 1 juice, heal the bruise.
Okay, so that's tier
Which-
1 status gone.
Tier 1. So
You
tier
can
3.
Yeah, you can heal your fractured bones for 3 juice.
Okay, so that would bring it to 6. That will bring it to 3.
Do we want to hide?
Yeah, the hide the he's going to hide the effect of his relic, and he's going to hide the effect of Roz's ability, so that will leave 1.
Maybe hide the effect of the box. The fact that we have police evidence.
Hiding the box is a wise move, because if you're walking around and someone sees you randomly holding a box of evidence on the street, someone's probably going to call that shit in. That's going to be noticeable.
Is it
No,
now?
because like it's a banker box, so I could have just been shit canned.
Right, you did pull it
So-
from an evidence room
Oh.
though.
Yeah, because like they would be like covered in various
You
tags. and
could
whatnot.
add a temporary tag of like unnoticed or
Yeah, add temporary tag to it. Mundane.
Okay.
People would look at it and just be like, okay, that's just a box.
Okay, fair enough. So you go ahead and you do all that. I want you to describe the effect of your healing, and then I want Ross to describe how her ability flows into your effect. So go ahead and start, and then that effect will only be visible to the 3 of you. Actually, for Charlie, she'll see it slightly different because she'll see the actual transfer of energy as vibrations and kind of that.
Yeah,
But,
it would be a little weird for me. I'd be like,
So
yeah, let's start with Henry's description of what happens.
as he taps into the magical healing of his relic, the relic just kind of usually just passively regens if he gets hurt, kind of deal. But when he taps into it, his hand starts to glow with pure energy. And it's a green energy. It's not an ugly green. It's not a puke green. It's more like I like the thought of it's a jade green. Jade feels very comfortable, very welcoming, and he places it right on his tibia, and as he does, any scuffs, any cuts or anything that were around that start to like vanish. You can hear the popping and crackling of the bones for like a second, and then nothing. He then takes the hand and he starts like kind of like a TSA agent with the metal detector wand, starts waving it all over his body, just making sure that like he's thoroughly checked himself out and healed himself.
Okay, so as that's going on, Roz, how does Roz's abilities kind of flow into that?
As he lowers the torque, she is kind of holding on, not necessarily to that area, but just on some of like around his neck, maybe. And her glow is this warm golden glow, and it feeds down through him. And as it comes to that area, as he's putting himself back together, she is making it almost as if it's new, as if it's younger, as if it's a little stronger, in the way that she wards off deterioration to such a level that it's like it's brand spanking new. And it also, as part of just how she is, it helps. She's also trying to send some comment to him as she noticed the red ring, and to focus him in that way too. Yes.
Okay, and so
Then she'll slip off her jacket and give it to him. Oh, he has a jacket.
I
Is he
have a
wearing
jacket.
it?
Yes.
That's funny. We look so great.
I'm like in these pajama-like looking scrubs with a leather jacket on. It totally just doesn't match.
It's great.
We look like a biker gang.
We're trendsetters.
Duh.
And then when Roz opens her eyes, she winks. She feels good. Right. Yes, going. We should go.
And I look at her and look down the alleyway. We should go opposite of the street.
Wise. Very wise. Sounds good to me. Charlie, you know these streets. Get us out of here.
And Charlie would just start making her way to the R&R diner.
Okay, and so we're going to fade on this scene as the three of you kind of escape from the chaos that is the police precinct. Now we're going to cut to Sathana, who last week we discussed very quickly that we would give her an opportunity to do a downtime, to do a montage, so she can do a downtime action or do something else. Have you thought about what you want to do there?
Yeah, I wanna. I think it's like that's actually one of the questions I had. So one of the options you have there is explore the mythos, and you get a clue from it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a clue relating to the mythos? Is it a clue relating to the case we're working on?
In this particular case, you get to ask me a question about your mythos, and then I give you an answer, and that's you. It'll be based on the way that you describe exploring your mythos. So, like,
okay.
what you'll do is with that, when you're exploring your mythos, you're going to talk about how you go about doing that. What is the activity? What is the action? Is it is it meditation? Is it reflection? Is it in some way, however else you would treat an investigation? But then based on that method, you can then ask me a question, and the answer will relate to your method.
Okay, because I kind of have I'm torn between the two, so I'll throw out to the rest of you guys what you think we should do. I'm torn between working the case because I think that there is a lot going on and we could probably use more clues for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Use more clues. I can't speak English, I'm very tired. Or going to investigate my mythos and learn more about the necklace that I was given. Because that could also give us an avenue of more things that we could look at in our future investigations relating to the sisters, because I think it work as a double edge there. So I would take your guys's. I know what I want to do, but what do
I
we
think whatever you want. I'd say whatever sounds
Yeah.
more appealing to you, do it. Yeah. I think you want to explore your mythos.
I do,
Yeah.
but at the same time, we could really use these clues. Okay. To be fair, if I go and explore the mythos the way I'm thinking about it, we probably may get some avenue of something out of that anyway.
Cool.
So, all right. I would like to explore my mythos, and I would like to do that by going to talk to the people I think have something to do with it. So
Okay.
I want to go back to wherever the bar was called.
Xanadu?
Xanadu.
Xanadu's, how can I forget that? It's been a while, guys. I'm very tired. I've only really just got off a plane. I'm like, ah. So yeah. Okay, yeah, so after having spoken to my boss, which is why I haven't answered anyone's messages, yeah, I'm probably gonna head towards Xanadu's. I don't know what time of day or night this would be, or when this would take place.
Well, so all the downtime, the montages happened during the day. So if you want to go and explore, I guess during that time, you're more than welcome to, or you're more than welcome to kind of ease that into the early part of the evening.
Probably early part of the evening then, because I think that'll make more sense. More chance that Xanadu's will be open. I'll be less noticed. Yeah, there'll be a chance that she wants to push where this can take her, and I think the chance of it will be open. And if she's been working all day, talking to her boss about various whatevers, then yeah, it's probably early evening would make most sense, I guess.
Okay. All right. So how do you want to go about doing that at Xanadu? Are you going to be interviewing people, asking questions? Is it something that you want to kind of RP out, or is it just more of a you have a particular situation in mind that would happen?
I think initially she would go there and try and talk to anyone else that she notices wearing those little golden things.
Mm-hmm.
Because actually probably the bouncer if he's working, because he directly called her little sister, and to her that was a bit weird.
Okay.
So yeah, I think she'd probably go there and like try and talk and interview to the people that she noticed having those. I think she might avoid Mr. Gallows for a bit unless she gets nothing useful from the bouncer or anyone else she notices with these. The only people that I know of that have them are the bouncer and Mr. Gallows. I don't know if we spotted anyone else.
I don't think that you did in this particular case.
Yeah, I don't remember, but then my notes are poor.
Yeah, I don't think that you. I don't think there are a fair number of them in play in the game. There's there definitely is that going on, but I don't think you have encountered anybody else with them at this point.
Okay.
All right. So with that in mind, you can carry on this conversation, but at some point I want you to specifically tell me the question that you're asking, so that I know how to answer it, and then that will be you spinning your clue.
Okay.
All right. So when you arrive at Xanadu, it's the early part of the evening. The place is just beginning to open up. Your phone has been blowing up with Roz and Charlie and Henry kind of texting back and forth, and Roz sending you lots of texts, but you're so intrigued by the situation, you're ignoring it for the moment. And you arrive at Xanadu, and you can see that the door is closed, and that the bouncer is just kind of, the doorman is kind of hanging out there, looking incredibly sharp, dressed in a gold suit, mirror shaded glasses, rounded glasses, shirt kind of opened up, and you can clearly see the medallion, the necklace with the medallion that he's wearing, and he sees as your car kind of pulls up, and your taxi or whatever kind of pulls up, and you step out, and he's like, "Hey, little sister, how you doing?"
Oh my god, I forgot my character voice. I'm doing fine. Kinda, I guess. Don't laugh.
Well, it has been 2 weeks, I get it, or 3 weeks, I get it.
Yep, it's been 2 weeks I've been in America, and it's just gotten worse. I don't know. I had a really weird night, I guess.
Sounds like last night was weird for a lot of people. I understand that. What can I do
Do
for
you have a weird night?
Every night is a weird night when you're working for Mr. Gallows. Especially when Mr. Xanadu shows up.
Oh, does Xanadu have the name this place?
Not quite that. Maybe you'll meet him sometime. He's quite a character.
Oh, cool. Is it okay if I go in? I don't know if you're quite open yet.
Oh, yeah, we just opened. You can go ahead and grab a drink. They'll serve you at the bar. You're good, little sister. You're good.
As I go past him, I walk past him and then literally backtrack like 3 steps, so I'm standing right next to him. I assume he's taller than me.
Oh,
and,
he's, you know, how tall do you think Safana is?
I think I said she was like 5'8" or 6. I can't remember. Let's go 6 foot.
All right, he is 6'6", so he is definitely looking down at you.
Why do you call me that?
You know that thing that Mr. Gallows gave to you?
Instinctively, she'll just put her hand over it. Yeah.
That's important to us. It has sentimental value, and it means family. And well, I'm not gonna make any assumptions, but I believe I'm a little older than you, and that kind of makes you my little sister.
But I only turned up here yesterday.
Doesn't take long with family.
This is my question.
Okay.
What are we?
You see him kind of step back for a second and kind of look up, take a big breath. I'm not sure you're quite ready for that answer.
Well,
But what I will say is that the things that you can do, I can do too, but only differently. And we've known each other longer than last night, let's just say that.
really?
And for the first time, he pulls his glasses down just a little bit, and you can see his eyes, and they are multifaceted. They're chromatic. They sort of shift and take on the light of different colors, right? Sometimes you see blue, sometimes you see gold, sometimes you see silver, sometimes you see white, sometimes you see green, just as the cars are kind of passing by in the reflection. And for the first time, he looks at you, and you feel this intense moment of just feeling like you belong. And for just quite a second, you hear a cacophony of noise that just sounds like a battlefield. Swords clashing. You smell upturned earth. And you smell faintly blood. And it all comes in like a quick flash. You're not quite sure what he just conveyed to you, but he puts his glasses back on. We'll be there again soon, I'm sure. Now, are you sure you don't want to go inside and have a drink?
I think the answer to that may be hell yeah. I'm gonna like tap him on the arm and then walk into the bar for sure. Like this is she's not ready for this. She wants to know, but she's not ready for it. Yeah.
And as
she's
walking inside, he says, "Next time you talk to Mr. Gallows, Oscar, make sure he reminds you of who you are."
I will.
And
Thanks.
he lets you inside.
Cool. And then I'm good.
And so your phone is blowing up again as you're sitting at the bar. Is it ringing this time, Roz? Are you calling her?
Roz has like stooped to the level of actually picking up the phone and calling.
Oh my
instead of
god.
texting.
What are you doing, Roz?
She's driving me crazy. Savannah. Savannah.
I'm trying to decide what the ringtone for Sithana would be. Sorry for.
Does she have one particularly for Roz?
What was she a fan?
so.
Was she a fan of Seth or of Roz's show?
I don't know. I think she probably does. I think she knows it.
It's the theme song for what was the name of the show, Roz?
Rosy cheeks.
I
I'm
finish whatever drink I'm drinking. If they pass me a bottle, I finish that too, and then I'll pick it up and answer it.
I feel like Roz
Hi.
sang her own theme song too.
She did. It's just like it's Patsy. It's literally like, it's Rosie, it's Rosie. It's like something terrible like that.
I probably she like Sithana probably can't deal with that. She's probably got like a remixed dub version or something.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my god.
Yes, that she also recorded. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
totally. Yeah, I'll pick up the phone. Hey,
Where the hell are you? We got jackets. Can you come to the Double R Diner, please? We have jackets. We have to get you a jacket. That's not all that's happened. Things are happening and I'm trying to act really, really cool right now, but you know, I have pancakes and sugar. It does things to me. Can you get here?
I reach over and I like, Roz, let me see the phone.
See it here.
I see. Savannah,
Yeah.
we broke into PD evidence.
oh my fucking god, I will be there. And I put the phone down. And I leave. I tip how much is appropriate, which I still can't figure out, and then leave.
As you try to tip, the bartender behind the counter, no, you're good here. You're good. And as you're kind of beginning to argue with him, you notice that he's wearing a little medallion around his neck, and it looks like a stein, like a drinking stein. No. Mr. Gallo said, you're good here. Your money's not good here. Please, anytime you want, come on in.
Okay.
What you mean my money not good here?
I will definitely be back.
Okay.
I'll be back. And then she's just like, gonna go call an Uber or Lyft or whatever it is these days.
Apollo!
Apollo.
It's an
Of course it's
Apollo.
Apollo.
Still very excited about that clue. Okay.
I call an Apollo, I get a lift to the owner, like, lean over, it's like, if you could get there like twice as fast as normal, I would severely appreciate it.
Well, so you don't actually call for an Apollo, you use the app.
Well,
Yep.
still.
And
Same
you,
thing.
well, yeah, but you're calling.
She
You're calling,
adds the note.
You add the note, and then in doing that, it comes within a couple of minutes, and in the moment that it comes, you get a ring. You get a notification with a sound. Your chariot awaits as it's parked outside.
I probably would have put the phone on silent at this point. Like, nope, I'm getting in. Yeah, I'll ask the, like, yeah, if you can get there really fast, I'd super appreciate it.
And the vehicle goes off immediately, faster than you would expect.
As
What?
we're waiting for her, Roz is very jazzed from all of the fun things she got to do, and so she's like setting up dates on like every single app and keeps checking if Derek, is that right?
Derek, yeah.
Derek responded. I know he's had a busy night, but I keep like checking that one. I don't do anything else because Roz.
No
Roz
response.
doesn't have to. She gonna
Rod,
be waiting.
no response from Derek.
Well,
However,
the
you're
PC
getting matches all over the place.
fantastic. Fantastic. Is Is Mr. Apollo on any dating apps? I'm gonna
No.
find a way to make this happen. I've been
You
waiting
just-
patiently.
Waiting patiently, that only happened like a couple hours ago.
Yeah. Well, I'm impatient.
Ross, you may
Yeah.
want to
What
take a chill pill.
is that? Are you on drugs?
No, I am not on drugs.
Oh.
Henry speaks up. You know, if you are on drugs, I'm going to be a doctor.
Wait,
I
okay,
could
you're
prescribe
on
you. I
Are
could
you-
prescribe you the chill pills. Actually,
Ooh,
I you know what? Never mind. I shouldn't be saying this.
no.
I'm
None of
No.
us should probably
Is it-
say anything ever
Isn't
again.
it unethical for friends to see my doctor if he's my friend?
I think friendship just
no.
supersedes ethics.
It's unethical to be dating your doctor. It's
At
not.
this point, I'm definitely turning up.
Look at our jackets.
Okay, 1. Really nice jackets, 2, and probably the most important thing. What the hell did you do?
Have a pancake.
Listen, so I did nothing but break a window and break a door, and
I fixed it.
she fixed it. I also put a broom horizontal in a door.
It was very effective.
I assaulted a legion of police officers.
At this point, I'm definitely putting out my hip flask. Carry on. I feel innately like this story isn't done yet. Carry on.
We were in the police station, right? Henry went to, get his shoe and collect some evidence because we wanted to know more stuff.
We brought Kath cookies.
And we found out that another woman's gone missing. Was it Charlie overheard it? Trisha Bjorn?
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
Does that name ring a
Accurate.
bell with me? I completely flummoxed in with her. What I thought was an easy question.
No, it's sorry. I was unmuting myself. That's a. So Seth Anna's role at MCX specifically centers around working for the CEO as his executive assistant, right? His executive
Yeah.
admin, right? Okay. So you definitely would know who she is because Trisha Bjorn is the she's essentially the chief marketing officer for Acer Industries. So you would have at least had some. You would know who she is. You would have some awareness of who she is, and you may have even had some interaction with her.
So, what's the name of the company she works at?
Acer.
Ace-
AESIR.
SIR Industries.
What do they do?
What do? They're all over the place. They have different divisions that do different things: pharmaceuticals, military, consumer goods. Just they are known for aggressive acquisitions.
Okay.
And did Charlie, am I recalling correctly, did Charlie overhear that where she went missing from?
Oh.
Okay.
She did not
That's-
know.
No, I
right?
only-
Question because I watched the other stream, so it was a question to make sure that we were staying in game.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Didn't go
What?
down at the end of your sentence.
No.
Okay.
No.
No. No what?
No.
what?
Whatever.
Mm.
No what?
Noah.
No.
Oh my
No?
god, that reminds me of my Newcastle friend Noah.
Okay. Let's not. Let's carry on.
Please.
So when did she go missing? Anyway, this is not the right time to interrupt with that question. So you broke into
And
let's
I-
call
I-
it the chocolate factory because then no one can trace what we're saying, you idiots.
Exactly.
Broke into the chocolate factory.
Wonderful.
Broke a door, a window, but you kind of
Fix the
fixed it.
window.
You brought
I-
chocolate cookies to the chocolate factory owner, and you broke in to steal a shoe.
No, I broke into steal the everlasting gobstoppers.
Oh
Uh-huh.
right,
And
okay.
I-
And you
Secret
didn't
formula.
share?
Well, are you sharing? Do you still have these everlasting gobstoppers, or
And
did you?
I tap on the box. Yes, I have a huge box full of everlasting gobstoppers. Unfortunately, a couple of the Oompa Loompas saw me, and I covered them all in taffy.
I lean back and yell to the bug. Alcoholic right now. Lime. Okay. Did they properly see you, or?
I gave them my identification.
Oh my
You
god.
never said that. Why would you do that?
I was hoping that they would lead me towards the front door, or at least
Oh my god, Henry,
leave
you
me out
can't
of-
work anywhere. You gave them your ID. You can't go back to the morgue. You can't go back to your place of work. You can't go back to school. Henry, what the hell have you done?
Well, now you can't come to the fancy party either.
I lifted up the box. I got the gobstoppers, man. That's what I
Okay.
got.
Okay, I know lawyers. We could say that it wasn't him. We could say that somebody was pretending to be him, right?
Yeah,
You were with us. No, except we were there. You were with Sathana.
I was
Oh
at
my God.
school.
Sure.
I was in the
I
lab.
Did
Like
anybody
a-
see you at school?
Yes. Oh no, I was at work. I know exactly who we can call. We can call Mr. Fritz. Well, Dr. Fritz, but he's Mr. Fritz over at the home. He has dementia. He still thinks that he's chief
Oh, okay.
chief of medicine.
I'm gonna stop you right there. That's a terrible plan. If he's in a place with dementia, they're not gonna look. Okay. So I left my up. When did this take place?
Oh, an hour ago.
Yeah.
Okay. We may not be too bad. All right. I can say that you're with me. After my call to my boss, I did say I was gonna go meet someone for a drink. That person could be you. Where this drink was back at my place, okay?
And they're gonna ask you what you two were doing alone then.
Well, I'm gonna tell them to go mind their own goddamn business.
I was exchanging gardening tips.
Is that what we're calling it?
euphemism. That's
What? No,
Planting
gardening.
ficuses.
planting. No, why would you plant a ficus?
You were like sowing seeds and getting like plows.
Ooh.
Fields,
Yeah.
whatever. Look, we can just be very vague.
I'm in.
Right.
Okay, but we
Go
need
on.
to work on why your ID is missing. Oh wait, no, it's stolen. That's pretty easy. In which case, you need to call him now. You need to call him now and say that it was missing.
But how? Okay, but they saw his face. Did anybody like? The cops are gonna be like, "That's him."
Word against word.
Exactly. But there
Well, no,
was
it's not.
there
They have
were two
cameras?
cops. Well, I tried to disable the ones in the evidence room, and I was wearing a mask. It was pretty ingenious.
Hang on. You're wearing a mask and they saw your face. Did you?
I took it off to blend in with the crowd, and then I kind of summoned the mask again, where
Here, please,
it's like you can't blend in with this, and as he does, like it just kind of crawls up around his face and around his stag antlers and stuff. It's like you can't walk around with this on. So yes.
Okay.
Even
So-
if they did have cameras, they don't exactly have the best tech there.
No, that's true.
It's
Just-
pretty run down, so it would be blurry at best. So
Oh,
word
I
against
know. There's plenty of what are we calling us? Champions powered people? Special?
Oh. Ooh.
Mm.
Ooh.
Bunch of idiots is probably the closest description we
like
have to
that.
us right now.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I
Good
could say that
code
I
name.
was mugged. And there has to be somebody with extraordinary abilities to, I don't know.
Have you noticed how normal
So
people who aren't like us don't notice this always?
if you're mugged, would you have fought back? Do you need a black eye? I'm very good at punching people.
Oh my god, they made you do it. What was in there? What's in the box of candy?
You should look at it.
I slip my hand into the box of evidence and I pull out my shoe.
Oh
There's
my
other
god.
stuff in there, right? There's other stuff in there, right, Henry? They're like
Mhm.
M&Ms and Skittles. Like there's other stuff.
And I look in and it's like everything that expired yesterday.
Love it.
I'm gonna like push him over into the freaking wherever the hell it is. I assume we're sitting in one of these little dinery things. I push over so I can have a look inside the goddamn box. What is in the box other than the shoe?
Other than the shoe, there's actually not much else. The patch that Roz found previously, some collected samples of debris.
What?
Debris.
Oh.
So like pieces of table or what have you that seem significant. And there are some brochures and paraphernalia from MCX. You look at the sheet that's included in the box as the itemized list. This is the first group of evidence that is being pushed into the evidence room. Other pieces of evidence are in the CS the crime scene lab, basically the CSI stuff. There's also some samples that are some things that are still being processed that are photos essentially that were taken at the crime scene.
Okay. Okay.
I thought I also grabbed there was evidence being logged in. That's what I waited for. And it was around the same area because it was all going into processing basically. They were all on the same shelf.
Right, it all went into that
Okay,
box, and that's
all right,
that's
so-
all the stuff that's in the box right now.
Okay, so they were still logging in evidence when I was there, and I guess some of this is new evidence, the pictures and the lab reports. I can read the lab reports if you'd
You
like.
can look at the pictures, see if there's anything that
Yeah.
I didn't get.
We need to make a really, really quick copy of what's in this box. We've got to get it back to them. Henry, you are
Right.
going to be screwed if we don't. I have
Um,
what may be a really stupid idea.
Replace the shoe.
One, replace the shoe. That's not actually a bad idea. That wasn't an idea. But Chow Industries broke into my workplace day before. I mean, I think I told you that.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
There is MCX stuff here. They're making you do it. I mean, I blatantly told, my bosses about and Kath about.
We
about
can
the
call her
fact that Chow had
Catherine now.
made. Yeah, that this guy had been made to do it. You were made to do it, and we got you back. We managed
Talk
to
him
like
down.
save you and rescue. Yeah, we didn't exactly talk them down because if we did that, then they would be nearby. Whatever.
Huh.
We can blame it on them. I mean, if we rough
That's-
you up a bit, we let Charlie rough you up a bit, it just adds more credence, and that may kill two birds with one stone. It gets you out of trouble. We got what's in the box.
Puts
and-
them onto Chow.
Charlie
Yeah,
just
and-
smiles a little bit.
It's too bad
And-
somebody
and
healed
Kath-
up their bruises.
Yeah,
I'm just
and
saying.
Kath is able to push checking this stuff out for my company.
He wouldn't
So
have been able to
Well-
get away quickly if he wasn't healed. We can just beat him up better.
Well, great. If we're going to analyze this, I would suggest that we not do it at a diner. I have equipment
agree.
back at my apartment for classes that I use. It's not the high-tech equipment over at the hospital, but we can make copies and stuff.
is it, Johnny? Are there samples in the box, or is it written lab reports?
There are no written lab reports in the box. There are samples in the box of all of the evidence. you see on the itemized report that there are pictures that are being processed right now. So that's in process with the evidence department, but that's still being sort of handled, and that there are still other things in the CS in the CSI lab.
Okay, maybe we keep the samples.
Yeah,
That's what they would be after, right?
exactly.
So we keep it. And then later on, we can do like an anonymous tip-off about something, and you know, say that we found the people or whatever. The samples of things are going to take the longest, right? So why don't we keep these chocolate samples and we'll give the rest back?
Exactly. I could go check it out at the university tomorrow, and use my lab time.
You've got to be real careful doing that, because don't those things log every time you check things?
I got a little sweetheart over at the school that just absolutely adores me, and luckily she does clerical work.
I have another really stupid question, Johnny. I assume I would have access to our R&D department at MCX. I might have better equipment. Excuse the weirdness of that statement.
Gran, may I use it?
I mean, maybe we could take you on as an intern. Okay. I mean, we could take you on as a temporary intern, and then you can use the labs all you want.
Wonderful. That sounds great.
All right. So the crux of this is we are taking the chocolate samples. Charlie's going to beat the shit out of you, and then we're going to take you to the cops.
Exactly.
Excellent. Perfect plan.
Love it. Can I
How's my
look at
beer?
I don't know. They're very slow here tonight. Can I look at the photos too? Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Gosh, it's like we're not listening to him. Stupid boy. Apparently I'm muted, Johnny.
Apparently I'm muted. So there are tripping up now. Those photos are in process in their system right now. So they're being categorized and dropped into evidence. So it's a process.
But I guess, I mean, Roz took a lot of photos that night too, so I'm guessing it's very similar than what we already have.
They may have, there might be some things that you can, like, there, it would be very easy for her to compare where the differences are. Absolutely.
All right. Well then, okay, Charlie, take me out back, and just be rough but gentle.
I'll make it the least amount of painful I can possibly make it.
It's more for you. It's more for your safety, not mine.
Oh, trust me, I can take care of myself.
Okay.
Do you need us to hold you back, or?
Yeah, that would probably be a good.
Okay. Hi, man. Where the hell's my beer? My beer.
The beer
okay,
arrives.
So. Fuck yeah. All right, let's go.
Good thing you can heal yourself later.
Yes, I try not to rely on that too much. You know.
You can heal your.
Don't worry about it. Let's go. And so we all go out into the back, I guess, where I
just hold Henry as Charlie beats the snot out of him. I'm in.
Yeah.
All right. No matter how much I beg for, do not let me go.
I won't. I got you.
And I guess I mainly go for like facial things because it's, the only place they're really gonna see. I might punch him in the ribs twice or something to get some bruises. But
you want to kick his shins too.
Oh yeah, I'll kick his shins.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I basically I give him a black eye, maybe make his nose bleed a little bit, punch him in the ribs to like split lip,
As she does this, his eyes are like going like a rave to like red to green. He's like, that's too much. Stop it. Enough.
I just go until he looks, pretty beaten up. Nothing fatal.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I want to have you roll just for the desire to have you roll to make sure that you don't hurt him, or if this just is too funny as it's happening. So I'm gonna let it happen.
Okay. I mean, like, he's not resisting, so.
No,
but it's like
he is.
I don't want you to hurt.
That's what's holding him back.
Right. Okay. So with all of that, no, sorry, because I'm yawning. Where do we find you guys next?
we call an Apollo.
And we call Apollo.
Before we call the Apollo, we need to get these samples out.
Right. I use my my powers, and I weave a small little briar basket, and complete with briar lid. And he's like, put it in there, and then just walk around with the basket. Act like you're going on a midnight picnic.
Okay. How do we want everyone to go with you, or maybe it'll be less suspicious? It's only
less suspicious, because then they're going to implement Roz and Charlie. I only acted alone, as far as they know, and as far as I know.
As far as you know. Okay, then you're either gonna have to go in alone, or it's you and me. Because if you two were there earlier, you can't be there.
I feel like you should follow behind. You're the one reporting it. I'll go
come
ahead.
with you. Found you. I came with you.
Oh damn.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I was going to throw myself down out of a car to make it look like I was tossed out.
They wouldn't toss you out in front of a police car. Because that would be weird.
If they wanted to feed me to the wolves, that's what I would do. Anyways, let's go then.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to have backup for this.
Yep.
And if you want to blame it, describe who was doing this. I gave him the description of the guy that attacked me in my office.
Okay.
My boss's office. I give him that description. I don't remember what it is because I don't have a million screens to see on my notes.
No, it's all good. Long story short, it would be just a guy dressed in what would look to be like dark outfit, almost like a cat burglar kind of a thing, who wasn't wearing a mask, but was wearing, was definitely just being, just your average nefarious kind of looking, cat burglar type. So Seth Anna is turning Henry in at the police station. What are Roz and Charlie doing while this is going on?
Going home or to Pendragon to keep working on my article.
And Charlie?
She's probably gonna skulk around the city because it's getting later at night, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna deal with we're gonna deal with Henry and Sathana, and then we'll come back to the two of you. All right. So you called in Apollo to take you to the police station. You arrive at the front and you see that the lockdown is just beginning to come off. Like the doors, there are still police officers kind of posted at the front door. The doors are open. They're just kind of monitoring the traffic in and out of it at this point. There appears to be, as you kind of get a chance to look inside through the open doors, you see a number of cops, uniformed cops and some custodians kind of just trying to mop up all the water from the sprinkler system kind of going off. It looks like a cleanup job now. It looks like they're just kind of, you know, taking care of business instead of it being in lockdown. So how do you want to proceed?
I assume you're carrying the box. Actually, if you carry the box and I carry you, it's close enough, right? Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm shrugged over like this, and I'm dragging the box on the ground, just trying to look as pathetic as possible.
Okay.
Hello. We're looking for Kath, I think. Kathy.
Let's just go up to the desk, Sergeant. If we get too many eyes, I feel like I'm going to go through another round of beating.
Oh,
And
no,
I kind of
dude.
I look at her, and I'm like, I don't think either of us wants that.
No, this would not end well. Just remember to breathe, pal. I got you. I take him up to the desk, Sergeant, then. Hi.
Hello. What's going on here? He looks like he's been badly beaten up.
I lift up the evidence box and I put it on the desk sergeant's desk. I recently broke in here an hour ago under duress, and I'm here to give a statement and make a deal.
Okay, and
Like,
he...
if I'm holding him, I whisper into his, like, faint. And
I just like let go and I fall onto the ground, just limp.
Two officers come up and begin to kind of lift you up and kind of take you under your arms and begin to escort you to an elevator. Can you please escort them? Can you please go with them to give whatever statement needs to be?
Oh, thank God.
All right.
I'll go with it. Yeah.
All right. So they take you up to the second floor, and on the second floor is processing, and they've got Henry in a chair, and they've handcuffed his right hand to the actual chair. Sitting, and they, South Anna, they basically, instruct you to kind of sit down with them. The processing officer will be here shortly, and then somebody plops, another officer, a third officer, kind of walks back up and plops the evidence onto the desk, giving you a moment to kind of sit there and take in the situation before anything happens.
I look like I'm fussing over him, like trying to take care of him.
Okay.
Good job.
It's okay. I think we're going okay. Just try not to say too much. I might have a really okay. We're good. We may have this. Just remember the description I gave you. We're gonna be good. It's okay. And they're just like more loud. It's gonna be okay, man. We got this. We'll sort all this out. Don't you worry.
The uniformed officer kind of walks up and says, for the time being, we're not arresting you. And he's looking directly at Henry. However, I'm going to take some statements from you, and depending upon that, we'll determine whether I'm going to read you your rights or not.
Fair enough.
You are accepting that I'm not reading you your rights yet, and that you are going to answer these questions of your own free will.
I am answering these questions of my own volition.
This is just an informal interview right now, correct?
For the time being, however, he did admit to, stealing something. Even if it was under duress, he needs to be in cuffs right now. Depending upon how your statement goes, we'll determine what's next. First, let me get some names here. You are, sir?
Henry Laramie Windsor.
Okay. And you are, ma'am?
I'm Seth Anna Burke.
And how are you connected to Henry here?
This gentleman was dropped outside of my apartment earlier today. Well, about less than an hour ago.
Okay.
Kicked from a car.
Okay. And he begins to the officer sits down at the desk and kind of begins to take notes. So you said you wanted to make a statement before I ask you any questions. Is that correct?
Yes.
Can you go ahead and make your statement, please.
I was approached and held under duress last night by a man, and I give him the description. And they said that if I didn't retrieve the evidence in your lockup for that night, I was going to be in peril, So would my family and everyone I knew.
Interesting. Okay. Do you know why you were targeted, sir?
Because I was helping the medical examiner last night with gathering the bodies.
Gathering the bodies, where, sir?
At the library.
Oh, okay. Can you hold on just 1 second? And he picks up the phone, and you hear him briefly have a conversation with somebody, very hushed, but you can hear that he's requesting that this person come down. And he clicks the phone back on the okay. So why were you helping at the scene, sir? Can you explain that to me?
Every once in a while, when something like this happens and they're short on staff, they usually get one of the senior med students to just come and give a hand. Last night, I was tasked with giving a hand to the medical examiner due to the double homicide at the or the triple homicide at the library.
Right. So you were a medical student. And
yes.
You were okay. All right. So where were you picked up after you were when you were kidnapped? Can you explain how that happened?
I heard my name being called down the alleyway on leading to this sandlot. And when I got there, I was shanghaied. Bag over head, beaten, knocked out, drug.
Okay. And do you have any idea where they took you?
No, they didn't take the bag off until we had arrived. It was just this dingy warehouse.
Okay. Warehouse. You said that you gave me a description of somebody who took you. But then you're also saying that there were multiple people that were there?
Yes, but they all were standing in shadow. I can only see silhouettes.
Okay. And so was it a male or female that talked to you when they finally told you what you were going to be doing?
It was a male. It was the man that I described to you.
Okay. So you're the reason that we had a lockdown earlier, as far as I can tell. I'm not going to make any assumptions, but I based on the circumstance and the evidence and the description of a couple of things that I know about what happened tonight, I'm going to propose that that's what happened. And then you left here, is that correct?
Yes, I left via roof.
Okay, and
I fell off the roof, and
you other than the bruises that you have, sir, you look pretty. I mean, that is a 6-story roof. Can you explain to me how you survived that?
Well, luckily there was a fire escape across the alley where I jumped. I was able to grasp onto that.
Okay. Take some notes there. So how did you escape from your kidnappers with the evidence box that was currently on my desk?
Well, when I arrived, I handed them the evidence box. They tore open the lid and they rifled through and cherry-picked what they needed, and they handed the box and once again threw a bag over my head, proceeded to kick and beat me, and I heard the man say, "I know exactly where we can drop him off." Next thing I knew, Mr. Thana was standing above me, and I was rather confused.
Okay. Do you know what evidence they took, sir? Do you have any idea, is there any description of the evidence that you think that they took?
No, all they left was a shoe and a patch.
Okay. That's interesting. Now I have a slightly different question. How did they convince you to do this, sir? What did they use to coerce you? Because it seems odd that you would just kind of go along with them, even if they were just beating you. So what did they have some sort of leverage? Were they blackmailing you at all?
Yes.
With what?
A Glock to the head and my cat.
Excuse me?
They were going to kill my cat, and they threatened my family and everyone I knew.
They threatened your cat and everyone you knew. Okay. Is your cat okay?
Yes, my cat is perfectly fine. I feel like they just were bluffing, and I got overexcited.
Okay.
I love that cat.
Okay.
It was the last thing my friend Tommy gave to me before he died.
I put my arm around him, making him look more pathetic than he is.
Alrighty. This is interesting. So, sir, how do you know that your cat was okay if you came directly from where you were kicked out in front of Miss Burke's apartment? How do you know that the cat is okay?
Well, when Ms. Burke found me, I asked her to let me borrow the phone. And I called a friend to go check.
Okay.
His name is Dr. Fritz. He's a family friend. Like, I can give you his number and you can call him.
I'm digging my fingers into his arm so hard right now.
Okay, and he says, "All right, I think I have enough from you, ma'am. Can I have you step across, off to the side over here for just a second?"
Sure, not a problem. Hey, it's all right, buddy. Don't worry about it. We're gonna get this all fixed out. If not, I know some pretty good lawyers. Excuse me, and I'll pat him on the head probably a little harder than is needed. Like, what have you done?
Poor
And
Artio. I was so worried.
Okay, so hi. What can I do?
So, how did you come upon Henry here? Can you explain to me about that?
When I was in my apartment, I just gotten home from work, rough day, and I heard shouting coming from below my window. I look out, I saw this cab, I saw Henry being kicked out, I saw the box being placed very carefully next to him.
Okay.
And the guy got back in his car and left, and I came back down. I found him. I found the box. I didn't know what it was. I'm sorry. I opened it. It's going to have my fingerprints all over it. And I found that there was some MCX stuff in there. And yeah, that's how I found him. I think...
MCX, why is that important?
MCX is a company I work for. It's also items belonging to us. And unfortunately, one of our drivers was found at this triple homicide. It's actually how I knew Henry. I met him at the scene along with your detective Kath. She'll confirm that. But there was also a break-in my office last night where I had to defend myself from... Oh no! His camera's gone.
What the hell happened there?
Oh my god, my description was so moving, he just disappeared.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell's going on here. Hold on just a second. As all the windows disappeared, let's try that. See if that works. Did that work? Nope, that didn't work. It didn't fix my camera.
Unplug and replug your camera.
Well, hold on a second. Hold on. There we go. Is that better?
Yes.
All right. Sorry, guys. I had a slight technical difficulty there. I must apologize.
That's okay.
Continue, Sathana.
Yeah, I had a break-in my office and I was forced to defend myself against someone who was attempting to commit corporate espionage. Everything, I think, is just a little too convenient, so I let him borrow my phone. He's clearly very upset. He's just a little med student and not quite ready for the real world yet. And I brought him straight here.
From the other side of the door. Artio! She was such a good cat. I'm so glad she's okay.
Yeah. I think they maybe knocked fear of something in him, so. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I know. It was just too much of a convenience not to bring him myself and explain the situation.
It seems really convenient that he was dumped right in front of your apartment. Did you recognize the person who dumped him?
As I said, I was looking down from the top from my window from my apartment, and I only really saw the top. I couldn't give you a 100% positive ID, but it looked fairly similar to the guy that broke into my office. I think it's meant as warning. At least I feel bloody scared, and I'm taking it as a warning.
Did you report?
And then she'll do like the thing.
Oh, okay. Did you report the break-in last night, ma'am?
I did. I let Kath know.
Okay, good. Well, she's coming down. You should be able to talk to her in just a minute. I'm going to have you sit right here and just give me a few moments. And he begins to step off.
Am I in a separate room?
No, you were sitting at a desk a couple of ways, essentially, 10 or 15 feet away from Henry at that point.
Okay. I'm just going to keep an eye on everyone moving. See if anyone at all ticks off my "this is a shitty idea" door.
This was a shitty idea. The moment that you stepped in, you realize that there's probably a problem with this, especially given his questions. But
yep.
He's stepped away at this point. So, do you guys want to do anything else, or do you want to wait it out?
I look over at Sathana. Do we have a plan B just in case they call Fritz and Fritz just doesn't know what's going on?
I think we're doing fine until we had to call Fritz. Well, if not, you just gotta play it out, man. I mean, you did physically entail the act of breaking in, so I'm doing what we can to try and save this.
Okay.
No plan B, dude. Just balls to the walls and hope this one works. If not, we'll have to think of something.
As you're saying all of that, Kath begins Kath enters the room, and you see her talking to the officer at the far end of the room.
I wave.
She acknowledges you, but she's still engaged with the officer. It's a very intense conversation.
Okay. I'm just gonna keep watching them in particular.
The body language.
Like body language or anything like that.
The body language definitely conveys that there's something off. That they keep they keep looking over at you, and they keep having a shared conversation. Another officer comes up. They have a quick chat. That officer kind of walks off. It's clear that something is not right in this situation.
Henry, how quickly can you get out of I'm getting really quiet. How quickly can you get out of those cuffs?
I look over at her, and as I do, the red ring is around my iris.
I just nod.
Fight or flight.
All right, I got that. Just be careful.
I don't want to hurt them, but they pointed guns at me, and he kind of coughs a little bit. His ribs still bruised.
I won't let you hurt them if that's not what you want to do.
All right, that's great.
Get out. Okay.
So Kath disengages herself from the other officer. She's holding the notes from his interview, and she walks directly over to you, Sathana, and she says, "I didn't expect to see you tonight."
I did not expect to be here, hence, the drinking part. So
can you explain to me again? It just seems really odd that the circumstances are that the both of you were at the crime scene last night, and now he's stealing evidence from the crime scene. and he was dumped in front of your house. I mean, he was coerced into it. I'm having a little trouble here, guys. I need you to explain this to me. And she invites Sathana over to as she walks towards Henry.
Look, I can't tell you how to do your job. I can't tell you what theories you should be following. All I know is that some of my guys, some of my guys from my company killed in some random triple homicide which hasn't been solved yet, linked with some missing girls. I know that last night I had to defend myself from someone committing corporate espionage, and they came at me, and I told you all about that. I sent you everything you needed to know. I've been spending the entire day dealing with that shit. Now I have some guy who I barely know beaten up and thrown in front of my home with a box of evidence that's been broken over, and he's broken into pieces. I'm taking that as a threat against my life. The things I've seen and know. So I'm not going to tell you how to do your job.
One question, and depending upon how you answer that question will determine what happens next.
Sure.
Did you actually call Kath? Did Sathana actually call Kath to let her know about the break-in?
Yes, because I let her know, I let my boss know, and I let I want to say Charlie Ross know.
Okay. So given all of that, convince her.
I thought I just did. Okay.
Convince her.
Look, so...
No. I mean, I want you to roll. I want you to roll this. You just... I want you to roll the convince.
Oh my god!
Just roll convince.
Okay, alright, so, okay. Conflict.
Okay.
Fight or flight, because we literally just had that discussion.
Okay.
And she feels very, very uncomfortable right now. I think paranoid may play into this.
Paranoid, okay.
I wouldn't call it a threatening monologue, but maybe that would apply. Oh no, I did tell her to shush it, so I guess that would count.
That would definitely count.
Okay. And I'm probably gonna roll back a guilt.
Okay.
Because again, this is a young guy who's very similar to my brother getting his ass in trouble, and I think I can do something, and she's feeling kind of a little bit like, maybe I should have been here rather than going to get drunk and helping these idiots get through what they just did, so I'll roll back that. So, just
okay.
+3.
Alright.
Alright. Old success? An 8.
Why don't I not see it in Roll20 yet? Huh, that's interesting. Okay, Roll20. You're freaking out on me. Hold on just a second. There we go.
I mean, if you need me to re-roll it.
No, it's okay. Sorry, Roll20 was having some issues, and that's why it wasn't updating on screen. Okay. So, do you want to give her a status, or do you want her intentions to change a little? She still has an agenda here, and that's gonna continue, but you can shift it a little bit.
I would like to shift her agenda away from treating him like a suspect. So I don't care whether she ends up like treating like the break-in and everything else as being a whole related thing, but I want to shift the kind of like blame of him having done this alone, plant the seed, the idea that this wasn't him doing this, it wasn't his choice. I just want to shift that blame away from him so he doesn't get read his rights. That's kind of the agenda change I'd like to make.
Okay. So she kind of looks at you, looks back at him, looks back at the officer, get these cuffs off of him. And she looks back at you. I'm still not convinced. There are too many coincidences. There's too much of a circumstance that just reeks as...
There's no such thing as coincidence. He coughs.
I just put my hand on his shoulder and cough.
And she looks
Um,
down at Henry and says, "This woman just convinced me that you are an innocent man. Your story doesn't really kind of add up at this point. So
Yep.
I think you need to remain silent moving forward. You've given your statement. I have it here in my hand. We're not arresting you at this point. Though we will be asking you some more questions very soon."
Oh, of course. Of course.
She looks back to Sathana. "I find it really convenient that there was evidence that your company was involved in whatever was going on last night, and that you're bringing him in to return an evidence box without the evidence actually in it. So
I can only tell you what I know, Kath. I told you from
my
the
name is
start our
Catherine,
visit.
and you may call me Detective Devereaux. You've been
Do
hanging out.
apologize.
You've
We are
clearly
in a
been
professional
talking to
setting.
Miss Rosalind Percival, and we will not be dealing with that anymore. Please call me Detective Devereaux. Thank you very much.
Okay, that's understandable. I do apologize. As I said, did not expect to have to be in here. I can only tell you the things that I've seen and experienced. I don't know what's going on. I don't know who did this. I don't know why it was done. All I know is I'm feeling pretty under attack right now. People from my office have died. I was attacked at the office last night. And today I have some man almost beaten to death thrown at my feet. I'm concerned for my safety. I don't know what you make of it. You're the detective, and I will go with your better judgment. But
Well,
this is
this
all I
man
know.
just caused a lockdown in our office.
Yeah, it looks pretty bad.
Yes, I'm not sure who pulled the fire alarm, but everything is soaked, as you can see, and I've had to change clothes, as most of the officers have. So you have to excuse my my rude behavior. That being said, Miss Burke, please don't leave town. I'll definitely be calling on you tomorrow to find out more information, because there's something that doesn't add up.
That's fine. I will.
And your address is, and she begins to confirm where you live.
That's correct. Most likely you'll find me at the office tomorrow. I will have everything that you need opened up for you to further the investigation of the homicide as we agreed. I spoke to my bosses and they were totally fine with that. So that's all been cleared for you.
Quick question about Sathana. Where
Sure.
does she live? Like, what part of town does she live in?
I think she lives near the outskirts. Hang on, just need to double check. I don't think I've pinned down exactly where it was.
Okay. So what kind of an area is it though? Like, is it a residential area? Is it a downtown kind of a setting? Is it a condensed apartments kind of a setting? What?
I think I did have her apartment. She lived in an apartment above a chip shop. So wherever that would make most sense.
Above a what?
A chip shop. Yeah, like I don't know how to explain it. A takeaway store. Pizza. If you guys understand pizza, she lived above a pizza place.
Okay, so the blue collar district.
Yes.
She lives in an apartment in the blue collar district. Okay. All right. So she kind of looks at you and says, "Great, I'll find you at your office tomorrow. I'll be pulling the video footage from your street tonight, so we can corroborate your story."
Sure. You can definitely give it a shot.
And she says, "Okay, well, great. Henry, Miss Burke, you can leave. Thank you."
Wonderful.
See you tomorrow.
Fantastic.
We leave.
Wunderbar.
Okay,
And
Henry.
they're definitely eyeing both of you as you're leaving.
That went better than expected.
That's great because the chip shop doesn't have any surveillance.
But there are street cams.
Yeah. Shh. It was a great idea at the time.
Mm-hmm.
On the list of shitty ideas. It's fine.
I mean, we're right here. We could go bust up their stuff.
Why?
Because you're gonna find out.
Find out what?
You know, I wasn't dropped outside the chip shop.
I know that. I'm very well aware of that.
Oh, we're
You know.
we're so screwed. I'm
Plus, we have
screwed.
breaking their stuff is not going to help right now, is it?
No.
But there are other things that can be circled around. I mean, there's some pretty good guys at the tech lab, and we need to figure all this shit out. So if I've got to take the blame and cause a big diversion for you guys to do this, then pile it on and we'll see what's happening.
Are you guys having this conversation as you're exiting the police precinct?
No, we're probably outside the police room. Is not that stupid. I mean, Henry may have this conversation in time.
I've taken a couple blows to the head. More than a couple.
Poor Henry.
I look like
little girl beat him up.
I look like Rocky from the end of Rocky 1. Yeah, did for you. And I just like my face is all swollen.
Look,
bloodied.
If I have to serve a distraction to you guys to do the shit, then go for it. I know pretty good lawyers. My boss he'll cover me on that best he can.
Yeah.
But I'll get your credentials sorted out. And
wonderful, because I'm gonna need a job after this. My dad's not gonna be too happy.
Your dad?
Yeah.
You live with your dad?
No, he's a big executive for a pharmaceutical company. He's sending me through school.
Dad got a name?
She would know your dad.
Yeah. Yeah. Darren Windsor.
And how does this ring a bell with me? I'm clearly gonna know this dude.
Which pharmaceutical company does he work with?
I swear to God, if you say MCX, I will scream.
No. It would be a rival company.
Okay. I equal that answer with Chow. I will also scream.
It's not Chow. I'm trying to.
There is actually a really good name. I'm trying to remember what company it is right now. I'll send it to you. It's a company that you recognize. You absolutely recognize.
Or I was thinking that, or the Ouroboros Pharmaceutical.
Oh my God, your dad's CEO. I know him.
Oh, fantastic. He's a dick.
Well, most CEOs are. I mean, I say most. I mean, I didn't think he was a dick.
Well, yeah, you don't have to live with him. You don't have to live in his shadow. Your mom doesn't hate him.
That I get. Wow. Big shadow, big shoes, dude.
Yeah. I just became a doctor because I wanted to help people.
It's a good goal. Sorry you got involved in all this. It's probably gonna be a real crimp on that, huh?
Yeah, my life's gone to shit ever since 4 years ago.
What is your dad's position? Just out of curiosity, Henry.
He's the head of the pharmaceutical company.
Okay, he heads the pharmaceutical division of Helix Labs.
Okay, Helix. There we go.
Yes. Which Sethana would know as being a company that takes a lot more risks. So, anyways.
Your dad's part of a very bold company.
Oh, yeah, no, you're telling me. Ah, man. What he does to some of his human test trials is kind of unethical.
Yeah, heard rumors. So you said 4 years ago? What happened, if you don't mind my asking?
Big gang war. I don't really like to talk about it.
Maybe you and I have a lot more in common than we think.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe. I'm kind of like messed up. Can we sit at somewhere so I can get this thing working? And he like kind of pulls out his torque and he kind of waves it.
I don't think you should.
Okay. Well, take me to the hospital.
That's a good idea. We can't just straight line this, and you've got to go yourself. I can't take you.
Yep.
I mean, I can drop you off, but I can't be with you. I mean, she's gonna be breathing down my neck. I got to figure out how the fuck I'm gonna deal with these cameras.
My life is a nightmare. I place a hand on her shoulder. Don't worry, I'll be there in a jiff. And as he does, he both of his arms get covered in vines, kind of like what he used to kind of slow his speed. And he goes over to the wall and he shoves it into the wall like hooks, and it just pierces this red brick building, and he starts climbing up the wall, and he just kind of
Henry?
leaps.
Why
Yeah.
don't you try a thing called subtlety?
Well, no one ever looks up.
Just
That's-
because you can doesn't mean you should.
I was given these powers for a reason, and much to my dismay, I'm going to figure that out.
Like I said, a lot more in common than we thought we did. I will no doubt see you tomorrow.
Yep, see you tomorrow. And then I make my way over to Mercury General Hospital, where I go to school.
Okay, so we're going to cut to Charlie. Charlie, how are you spending your evenings?
Currently I am chilling on top of a rooftop, just looking around, making sure no crime is happening.
So, crime is happening. What do you do about it?
What crime is happening?
There are petty crimes happening all over the city.
What? Like,
muggings. There's some people who are doing a fight. You see drug deals, or you get a sense of drug deals, all kinds of things.
I would definitely stop the muggings.
Okay. You prevent an old woman from having her groceries and her bag stolen. You prevent a young couple from getting kind of stuck, the same thing happening to them. But the crime seems to be a little bit less tonight than it would typically be on any other given night. So you find yourself with a little bit more downtime.
Yeah. Well, she'd just be like going around the city trying to keep it safe.
Okay. Do you not want to do anything else? Kind of, do you follow up any part of the investigation, or?
Nah, she's really into doing her own thing, to be honest.
Okay. All right. And so we're just going to leave Charlie doing that for just for a moment as we cut to Roz back at working at Pendragon.
Yep, she
What's
is
wrong?
putting together an article, and it's going to have literally everything they know in it about Alexis not being kidnapped, about the alley cats. The only thing that won't be in there is the because she's like working on the layout and stuff. The only thing that won't be in there is that that specifically it was an Apollo car, and that the stuff with Apollo. However, in the layout, the prelim for the interview that she did with Liza, I think it was,
Okay.
is right next to it.
Okay.
And that's what she's working on as scheduled. She hopes to be released. It's Friday, right, for us? So.
It's Thursday because you're on day 2.
Oh, that's right, Wednesday, Thursday. So. Saturday seems good.
Okay. So
So
as you're
it'll
working, as you're working on it, you get a notification on your phone. Your chariot will arrive in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't call one. Does it have anything else on the notification?
Nope. Just that the pickup location is in front of the building that is Pendragon.
I text Charlie to get over here. Stat.
Charlie would respond, definitely be like, on my way.
Okay.
Cool.
She's making her way across town. It's gonna take her a few minutes to get there. So.
I will leisurely. Well, can I see the front of the building from the Pendragon office?
You sure can.
I look down.
Nobody out there yet.
Good. I shall stay here until someone arrives.
4 minutes later, you get a notification. Your chariot awaits.
And is there anyone there still?
There is a limousine parked out front.
I text Charlie ETA, and it's got lots of question marks and a selfie.
I
Like-
can't even see the selfie though.
No, you have the picture description app, and it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Beautiful, dark-haired woman scout.
dark-haired woman, late 30s,
What?
Late 30s?
something like that. It's like very literal.
She doesn't look like she's in her 30s.
She looks 18, but she is not.
I did one of those things. It said I looked like I was 40. I was like, it's mean, terrible.
It's
I missed
totally
one
mean for
night
you.
of sleep. Damn it.
All the apps are mean in this city.
Hey, we try. We try. Okay, so Charlie, you're at least 5 minutes out.
Okay, I would message back. Be there in 5.
You run really fast? Okay. I'm going to put my phone in my pocket and call Artie and just leave it on.
Okay.
And because we got that fun signal, and I'm going to leisurely make my way down to the first floor.
As you're strolling, you hear your phone go off again. Your chariot awaits.
Oh my god, it's creepy. I want to go move it up. Okay. Yep, I'm doing it. I'm just such a slow walker. I make my way to the front door and I look out because now I feel really paranoid.
Limousine is still out there.
Is there anything else out here?
Nope.
Okay.
I mean, there's the average traffic, but the limousine is the only thing. And on the side, you see the emblem for Apollo cars, and it's one of the luxury vehicles.
Great. Oh, good. Okay. I open the door. I feel like I'm taking this too literally. Okay.
As you open the door to the Pendragon office or the building, the door from the Apollo opens up, and you can see inside, but you can see only the vague outline of somebody sitting in the back seat. Otherwise, it's kind of dark in there.
Oh no.
And you hear
How many
a
minutes
voice,
left of this?
Miss Percival. I understand you wanted to have a conversation. I need to continue to move on. I've got some places to be. So if you'd like to have this conversation, now is the time.
Yep, be right there. Okay.
Miss Percival, I cannot waste any more time. Time is money.
Okay. Great. Good. I will get in like a dope.
The door closes and immediately the vehicle takes off. Charlie, you see the limousine begin to pull away as you reach the destination.
I would follow it.
How are you going to follow the vehicle, just out of curiosity?
Probably rooftops. I would definitely go as fast as I can using my outgoing agility, and knowing the streets very well, and it's following a perfect short range target.
Okay, why don't you change the game for me on that?
Okay.
So that sounds like 3 power tags.
Yeah. Why can't I find change the game? There it goes.
Nice, mild success with 3 power tags. You can create 3 tags based on the top of that list right there. I would make a suggestion of a story tag that you're able to keep up.
Yeah, able to keep up.
And because you this is a scene, you can do something else with those power tags or those juices, or you can bank them for now and then use them later as if you.
I thought we weren't allowed to bank.
You're allowed to bank them in the scene.
Okay.
So the scene is ongoing right now.
Okay, then I'm just gonna bank them for now.
Okay. And so you're kind of able to go from rooftop to rooftop to kind of keep up.
Yes.
Anybody who looking from a distance would see this young woman just kind of doing death-defying leaps.
I mean, I'm not like wearing my nice clothes though. I'm like in all black, and you can't really tell if I'm a man or a woman. I'm just a small.
But are you wearing your Doozy's leather jacket?
No.
Okay. All right.
I have to take it off when I'm fighting crime.
So we're gonna cut to inside the car.
It's in my bag, okay?
It better be. You save me without it.
You see quite an athletic man, early 30s. Really, really kind of, stylish sort of haircut. Brilliant smile, blue eyes, very thin. Again, very athletic build. He's about 6'2", wearing a white suit with a blue shirt, kind of open. And he's, wearing a gold chain around his neck. And you see that he's got a digital device, like a PDA or something, in his left hand, and he's kind of surfing through it. So I understand that you had an interview with my marketing director, Liza, today. She said that you would want to talk to me. Can I ask what this is in regards? Is this just a normal interview or something? She said it was a special case.
It really is. And I'm going to be perfectly straightforward with you.
Please.
By the way, I'm sitting right by the door. Not too conspicuously, but by the door.
Well, when you entered, the door's locked. Just FYI.
Oh, they locked. Oh, good to know. Great. So I would like, if you'd be willing to offer, to know what you know about Alexis Derry getting into one of your limos from the library last night and then you removing the record personally.
That's a bold accusation, Miss Percival.
It was a question.
It's a bold accusation. Can you explain to me how you came by this supposed information?
I'm very friendly.
Clearly. However, that sounds like an accusation. Are you planning to?
There was an upward inflection at the end that made it a question.
Right. Are you planning to print this?
Not at the moment. Oh, that's a good idea. Print it. That's great. I need to write that down.
Miss Percival, I am not intimidated by your actions. I've
will
already
not
spoken to the
try.
police about this. Miss Devereaux, Detective Devereaux, I believe she's fully aware of the situation, so I don't need to answer any of your questions. I think you need to tell me how you came about this information, and then maybe I'll fill in the blanks if I think it's appropriate.
Gotta protect my sources.
Well, then I really can't seem to help you. I think that this ride is over. Should I drop you back at your house?
Here's fine.
Excellent. And pulls up. Doors unlock. You may leave as you need to.
As I'm getting out, I just ask. There was one thing someone said to me that I think might ring a bell. And just out of curiosity, no idea if it's related or not. Movers and shakers?
We're done here, Miss Devereaux. I mean, Miss Percival. Clearly, you are trying to waste my time. Pendragon will no longer be allowed to, will not be granted any access to any of our precedents. You can tell Artie I said so myself.
Fantastic. Have a good evening.
You too. And the door closes, and the car takes off.
Okay.
You're left standing there, and Charlie's kind of standing above you.
I wave at her.
I don't think she sees me, honestly.
Oh.
All right, so we're going to cut back to Sathana. Where do we find Sathana?
Probably going to the nearest bar. Just
Okay.
the nearest bar. And attempting to get drunk, and then realizing how much shit she is really in.
Okay.
And then I think she'd probably attempt to... I think she'd probably attempt to call someone that might be able to help. So
All right.
I think we need to talk to... I think because of the way she is, she may be drunk, she may be not completely with it, but she knows how things work.
Right.
And I think at this point she knows she needs to get a lawyer because she is busted.
Okay.
She's so busted. So I think she'd have to call her boss and just say, look, dude, I'm in so much trouble. So yeah, I think she'd call him. Whatever time zone he may be in.
So I don't actually get him, but he responds via text, and he says, engage the corporate attorneys on retainer. They will be your go-to for contact through all of that.
Cool. She will store that. And then, yeah, I think she will probably go for a walk. Just look around, see what's going on, and just try and... I mean, she's going to try and focus on something she can have control over right now.
Okay.
She can't control the law thing. She can't control, apparently, the doozies in any way, shape, or form. That means that they're not going to get in any sort of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So she's just going to, walk around and try and flex, seeing through the mist a little, I guess, and trying to figure out exactly what some of her other powers are, because she hasn't ever used most of these before. This is very, very new to her. So I think that's probably what she'd be doing.
Okay. So that actually sounds like if everybody else seems to be ending the night as well, it sounds like we're going into montages. We're ending the day and essentially going into montages for the new day. Is that about correct?
I'm okay with that.
I think it sounds about right.
Okay. All right. So why don't we start this time with Sathana, and given that you're doing that, it sounds like you're exploring your mythos again.
Oh yeah. Because your montage, I think it'll be prepping for the day, prepping for the next stuff. I think she's already done that with calling a lawyer. So yeah, probably, yeah, exploring more of the mythos for her. I think.
Okay.
I think she's diving into that to avoid all the real life logos stuff going on. So
Okay.
for her, I think she's gonna try and test that out, and just sort of as she's walking through the streets, and hey, pathetic fallacy, it's probably raining or something. Just as she's passing people, just trying to figure out where she would take them.
Okay.
Like whether she would take them to Freya or take them to Odin, to Valhalla. So I think for her, she's going to walk around and just try and test how that feels with people, whether she can work out their fate, I guess.
Are you doing this randomly, or are you picking people specifically?
She's kind of drunk, so I think she'd probably be picking people that she would have grown up around and near. So people who are slightly dodgy, people who are probably gang related. So she'd be looking for basically she'd be looking kind of almost for a fight, but not. She'd be looking for those areas where she would feel most comfortable, because that's where she kind of grew up.
Okay. So, okay, well then let me ask you this other question to kind of clarify this. Where did Sathana grow up? Where did her and her brother grow up? Where did what was their childhood like?
if I remember, is it out of town on the like the very edge of the town? That kind of like
Depending upon the direction, yeah. I mean, there's a couple places. There's Cross End. The Old Quarter is considered the edge of town because it's on the waterfront, essentially. There, going the other direction, there definitely would be sort of this vague sense of, in the countryside, but still essentially a part of the city proper, kind of a thing.
Yeah, I kind of imagine her growing up in one of those kind of like, it would have been a nice suburb, like 2 cars, a bunch of kids and a picket fence, but a place that completely run down and fall into this very kind of like tribal gang way of being, so everything's falling apart, nothing's quite held up properly. It would be that kind of very low dive area that she and Ollie would have grown up in.
What do you mean? Do you mean like a slum?
Yeah.
Okay, then it's possible that she might have grown up in Cross End, because Cross End is sort of this, it's on the edge of town, it also borders on the blue collar district, and it's this progressive shift from a low income neighborhood to a slum to basically dilapidated buildings and a bunch of area of disrepair, and there's lots of kind of weeds growing through, and there's buildings that are completely falling apart, and all you see is the foundation or part of the sort of like a wall or something like that, as a part of what the building used to kind of represent. And so you come back to this neighborhood, and kind of thinking about all of this, and you see that the neighborhood, while it's changed, it hasn't really changed all that much. The things that you do see is there are slightly more tagging, gang signs of some kind, basically animal pictograms that are just kind of all over the place. And you come up on a couple of gang members from a gang called the Beasts, and they're just kind of hanging out there. And you are familiar with these types of people, these kids that are just kind of grouping together because on the street, this is how they survive. And so when you come close to them and you're kind of reaching out with trying to explore your ability, your mythos, what are you seeking from them specifically?
I think she's trying to work out because all the mythos had like the questions related to them.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is, who is she to decide their fate? So I think for her, she's just coming back to the place that reminded her, well, basically where she was as a kid, and like remembering all the things that she'd done, and she's now wandering around. Essentially, so far as she knows, she gets to decide what happens to them. Probably the most important question when they kicked it, so far as she's concerned, is do they go rest or do they go fight? And I think for her, she's trying to figure out where she fits in that. Does she fit in that? Is she supposed to be doing this? Is she good enough to do this?
And is that the question, the where you want to explore the clue?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think for her, very much, yeah.
As you get closer and you're doing this, you're kind of absorbing all of this. The flood of emotion and the flood of sense of how right this actually is, how important that this is, kind of overwhelms you, right? And you get flashes from out of nowhere that just give you a sense of taking steps into a battle and kind of bolstering the morale, kind of walking through among the soldiers that are fighting, among the combatants, and just kind of touching each of them, kind of walking through and just doing this, and you're getting these flashes, and you're not sure where it's coming from. It's almost it's completely alien to you. You've never seen this before. This has never been, this is not part of your memory. But so you're getting flashes of this as you're kind of looking at them, and you're seeing the fights that these individuals have gotten into, turf wars, They were recently in conflict over the rising of something that they called, the Stag, and how they were in a fight, and that fight failed, and that they could not, they did not succeed, and so they felt like failures because of that. And so that these visions and these are kind of intermingling with the visions that you're having about wherever this is coming from, and you kind of are just, you're overwhelmed, and you kind of look, and in your vision of this battlefield where you're doing all of this, and you kind of look over and you see two individuals having a conversation that stand out. One of them is shining brilliantly with his spear in his hand, and he's wearing a helm, and he's got a patch over his left eye. And the other is what appears to be a knight with a great sword kind of in the ground, and they're both talking, and you can see they're kind of pointing off into the distance, and you recognize the one with the great sword as Tamonte.
That's what, sorry?
As Tamonte, the bouncer from Xanadu. And that's where we're going to end it. All right, guys. Excellent. Crazy episode tonight. More trouble than I really expected. I think you guys did phenomenal, though. I think Charlie and Roz proved again that they are a great team in getting out of trouble, and Henry proved yet again that he can get himself into as much trouble as he possibly wants.
Thanks,
exactly.
All right, so why don't we go around the table, and we'll do outros, and then I'll do a couple of announcements, and then we'll go rate somebody. So why don't we start this time with Sam?
Hi, I'm Sam, also known as Harley's Armory. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter. Yeah. Tonight was fun. I'm excited to see what kind of trouble Charlie can get into on her own with saving people.
I'm very curious about this too. Charlie's routine around this, her normal life.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. We'll go down to Alex.
Hey, I am Zippy Zippo. You can find me here on Twitch at Zippy_Zippo. I do variety gaming, and I float around Twitch doing a bunch of tabletop games. I'm here every Tuesday for City Mist. I'm at Encounter Roleplay every Wednesday for Sands of Zahir, and Sundays I'm over on Henley's channel doing Mouse Guard.
Awesome. Very, very cool. All right, and we're going to step up and go to Lauren next.
Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm That Salty Ginger on Twitter. I play some Pulp Cthulhu with Greg, Grimjack21502 on Sundays at 7 p.m. EST. And I DM on Encounter Roleplay Monday afternoons at 1 p.m. EST, some D&D 5e.
Awesome. And last but not least, welcoming back from her 2-week trip to America. How did that go, by the way?
It was incredible. It was incredible. Went out and performed on off Broadway in New York. It was crazy. So good. It was very, very good. It was awesome. You can find me on Twitter at blood_BTP. You can find me on Skaggas channel Saturday through Tuesdays. You can find me on my channel Bloodthirsty Puppets Sunday, Monday, and Fridays, and my podcast Lucky Die comes out every Monday. I'm everywhere. Holy shit, Johnny! What did you just drop on me? Holy shit, dude! That was awesome.
Lots. Thanks, Mike, for the sub. Team Lazarus is not the best team. It's Team Doozy. Let's be completely honest here. Okay, so a couple of quick announcements as we're getting out of here. We of course are doing a giveaway. So if you want to win a copy of the book, go ahead and follow that link and go ahead and enter. I've already seen a couple of responses to it come across Twitter. So thank you for everybody who's entered so far. That is a copy of the core book in hardback form. It is this big 500-page thing. It's gigantic. And I believe we're going to be doing the giveaway announcement in a couple of weeks on UnMadeGaming's channel. So I'll post a link to that in just a second. Also, if you want to actually buy the book and give some money to Son of Oak and support the channel or support the 6 and 20 family as well, you can go ahead and buy the book directly from that link down there, which will lead you to Son of Oak's website, which will get you a copy of the core rulebook and a PDF for the good old price of $55 because of that coupon code we have right there. It's $5 off if you enter 6 and 20 fan. 6 and 20 is a big collaborative thing that we do across 3 channels, and I'm going to post this now. Tonight we are playing with the Doozies. This is a lovely cast who has come together and doing some really awesome, amazing stuff. And then tomorrow night I'll be over on Unmade Gaming running their crew, Team Lazarus. Not the best team, let's be completely honest. They get themselves into just as much trouble as the Doozies. I think it's one of those situations where who is getting into the least amount of trouble right now. And then over on Thursday night, it's over on NotSoSpeedRuns with Team Esper. And then basically Johnny who gets them all into trouble. Other than that, that is pretty much it, guys. I think we're going to go and we're going to raid Bub, who is currently playing Heroes of Hammerwatch. So I'm going to go ahead and post that in chat. So here we go. Do this, right? And so we're going to start the raid command in just a second. I want to say thank you to everybody. Thanks to the cast tonight. You guys are amazing. And we will we'll see you next week at the same bat time, same bat channel. So go ahead and click on that. And from all of us to all of you, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.